true. It's damn true.
It's true. It's true.
And you better recognize who the hell we are. Damn.
Stay tantalizing. Stay tantalizing. Ooh, stay tantalizing.
Stay tantalizing. Stay tantalizing.
Stay tantalizing, buddy.
Tantalizing.
Stay tantalizing. What?
Stay tantalizing, all right?
Stay tantalizing.
What he said. Stay tantalizing. Ooh, wait a minute. She's over here. I like her to do it. WNBC.
What's up, everybody? It's me, your girl, the tantalizing producer.
Cut the music. And who else?
And you.
And me. Thanks.
And the Giant Killer, a.k.a. Frodo Baggins. Oh!
Yeah. What is that?
Buried.
Oh.
Buried.
Kira, you didn't. I can't believe you went there. All right, Kira. It's on now. You're one of them.
Hey, what's up, buddy? So listen up. I set the stream for the wrong day. That's why you guys are just getting a notification. So it's my bad. I had it for Wednesday because last night I set it at 12:01 thinking, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was 11:59. So whatever. My apologies. Kira's head's cut off right now because she's doing some producing.
I forgot the third name. Oh, yeah.
So, yes, everybody. People throw the term best friend around. They throw the term brother around. They throw the term family around. Well, when you're talking about a guy who's to my right for you or left, wherever he is for you guys, we don't throw that term around loosely around here. Without that guy on the screen right there would never be a tantalizing Tony. Now, of course, there'd be a me, but would there be a tantalizing Tony? Quick backstory. When Paul Laurier bumped into me, he offered me a chance to wrestle. He says, "What's your name going to be?" There was a bottle of perfume, and I have a long tradition of wearing women's bathing suits, and, you know, it's all about girls for some reason. But anyway, the perfume said tantalizing on it. I looked over to it, I said, "Tantalizing Tony." He goes, "I love it." So without that guy right there, there's no tantalizing Tony. There's no me ever wrestling. There's no me going to Pittsburgh, winning the light heavyweight title and holding it for 2 years. There's no channel. So without this guy, I might have been around, but not doing what I'm doing now. So to my brother, my friend, my comrade forever, the Giant Killer, Paul Laurier, like Kira said, a.k.a. I'm his Samwise. He's my Frodo Baggins.
You are my Samwise. I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate you having me on again. It's always a blast when we do this. Listen, we have a outstanding history, a lot of great memories, a lot of great times together. That in itself is a show for another day. We can do that for hours on end, talking about some of the greatest stories. But just got to say this: I am blessed that we have found each other in this journey, and that it is still going after 30-something years.
No, 29. Our 30th anniversary is next year, 2023. So
all right.
We're 30 next year. Next year,
all right. I know there was always that debate. We never knew if it was a Raw or a Coliseum.
January of next year, we're 30 years friends.
Awesome. That is very cool.
Well, you know what? Wait, you know what? There is a debate because it might be November or December of 92. So I will figure it out because I have the tickets. And you're
going to have to find those because all I can refer to is because I am not the date guy. I'm horrible at those things.
Me too.
But I do know that when we first met up and we, you know, breaking news, we were backyard wrestlers. That was, I remember having maybe 93. Right. So that'll be a fun one to figure out. But 30 years, yeah, because I think when I met you, you were already 50. So 30 years later, now you're what, 79, 80? You got to be pushing that. I know. See, everybody, I don't dye my stuff.
Everybody's all natural, just for the record. Sorry, don't be mad at me. Anyway, love you, my brother. Thank you for coming on.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, it is a pleasure. Ravishing Richie will be joining us shortly. He is still on the search for Von Wagner, and we'll talk about that later. All right, everybody. You guys know what's coming up. If you don't know, something is seriously wrong with you. We are in WrestleMania week right here. We're on the road to WrestleMania. Paul, we've never done a Oh, yeah, we've done WrestleMania 10 together. Correct, right?
Oh, my God, yes.
Right.
Yeah, didn't we like run through the streets of Manhattan and find some random bar where I believe, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Scott Hall there?
Scott Hall had on the
in peace.
Rest in peace, Scott Hall. Scott Hall had a suit on. He had
Ed DiBiase, I remember that
title on him. I actually got to touch it. He saw us. He says, "Hey yo," right? We wined and dined with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Yes,
we're at his table. Like it was just,
Now, what's great about this story was we were very. So, how many years ago was that? 25. What are we going on to? WrestleMania what? 35. So
38.
we're eight.
What are we at right now? 38?
Yeah.
Yeah, 38. We're 38.
So that was oh my God, the math is mind blowing. So WrestleMania 10 being 28 years ago, running through the streets of Manhattan, just down side streets, no destination whatsoever, and just on a random whim, just going into some, side little dive bar downtown Manhattan, and we happen to run into them. Well, that goes back to the Rhode Island trip too, when you kidnapped Men on a Mission and brought them to the hotel room.
I kidnapped Mo for Men on a Mission and made him come back to the room. It was hilarious.
And that was 92. That was Royal Rumble 92, right?
Wait a minute.
So how could that be? That was 92.
Was that January? No, it couldn't be because the Undertaker missed WrestleMania 10 that year that was 93.
Kira.
Yeah.
Can you do us a favor and go track down the Royal Rumble that took place in Providence, Rhode Island?
1993.
Early 90s, and see what the date
93, I bet you. I'm good with dates, bro.
Yeah.
WrestleMania Providence, Rhode Island.
You are much better with this than I am. But yes, another episode of us kidnapping and running into people.
So wait, I was wrong in a way too. Let me tell you why. Because I did say Undertaker missed that WrestleMania 10, right?
I don't remember. Yes, that was Owen and Brett, right?
And that was Brett and Yoko. Right.
Yes.
So that was 94. That means Royal Rumble was 3 months ahead of that. So it's January 94.
Okay. So you're saying Royal Rumble in Rhode Island was 94?
Yes.
Odessa Slim was 94?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yep. That's when Yoko beat Undertaker in the casket match.
And I mean, one of the most iconic moments in our history. And I still tell the story to this day, which maybe you can do it for your audience, was your rendition of the Love Boat on the Orient Point Ferry.
Everybody, we have the lovely Ravishing Richie in the waiting room.
Just so you know, we have that video somewhere, and we will find it for your audience to check out.
He over the music. Music's playing. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is doing salsa, baby salsa. Hit it, Kira.
Ravishing Richie.
That's a big entrance. Oh. And he knocked out his light.
What the hell? Oh, boy.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, what's up?
How's it going, Ricky? Good to see you, my friend.
How are you, sir? How are you, Mr. Lauria, the Giant Killer himself?
Very good.
Good to see you, my brother.
You too, man.
I hate both of you. Anyway,
I'm looking. Well, first of all, it's my honor. I'm here with 2 Hall of Famers, so it's my honor to be here tonight. Thank you to you 2 guys. NYWC, baby.
Yes, that was a great night. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for that.
I want to make something very clear because I keep telling everybody I don't want people to think I'm piggybacking or riding the coattails. Listen, I always make this very, very, very clear that I was in the HWA. I wasn't there the entire time. They did everything. I was there in the beginning, parts here and there. This guy right here is a true Hall of Famer. He built HWA along with Mikey Whipwreck, Storm Mike Norman. Those guys are the cornerstone. I'm like, so they're the foundation of HWA. Like they're like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, and I'm like SD Special Delivery Jones. But listen,
I would have said Mr. Fuji, but yeah.
Hey, I'll take that.
I was thinking more like the guy that breaks down the ring at the end of the night, but that's cool. No, it totally works, man.
Yeah, right.
No, listen. In all seriousness, just to touch base on that real fast, and I don't want to hijack the show about this, but
it's fine.
That was a great honor and much appreciated. And there's a little bit of a backstory, and I'll make the long story very short. The NYWC is founded and owned by Shane O'Neill, one another wrestler by Wayne. Wayne was the first ever HWA student in the HWA Training Academy. But again, as Tony mentioned, the HWA started way before that. It started in a backyard, went to a training facility that then turned into a promotion. And Shane had taken over what we left off in the year 2000 and basically recreated the HWA in the NYWC and very successfully carried it for 20 years. So while the concept and the foundation of the HWA was Storm and Mike Norman, Mikey Whipwreck, and myself, there's no version of any of what we accomplished without the entire crew. And that goes for everybody. That's not just the wrestlers. That's the guys who did ring crew, the guys who set up with everything, everybody that was involved. And most importantly, the fans that we had were really, really awesome and all of that too. So understand that as much as it's appreciated and we represented at NYWC, it was not me going into the Hall of Fame. It was the HWA that went into the Hall of Fame. Myself, Mike Norman, and Mikey Whipwreck were representatives of the HWA and were inducted for them, but it was the promotion itself that went into the NYWC Hall of Fame. So Tony is, without a doubt, a Hall of Famer.
Okay, if you say so.
You just don't have the really cool plaque to show it. Sorry.
This show should have been titled the Swerve-a-Mania prediction show. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is that what we're thinking? I like this, Ricky. I like it. Where are we going with this?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's see what's going on with the card here. What are you doing here, Tony? What's going on here, Tony? What's going on?
What's going on is WrestleMania week, and the producer Kira is here with me, so she will chime in. We leave Thursday morning. We will be on the ground in Dallas, ready to go, ready to roll, ready to do our thing by 8 a.m. So we're gonna hit Superstore first. That's our first stop on the road to WrestleMania. And just so you guys, one more little note of business. Kira Mania started in Dallas, Texas. So now we're at Kira Mania 2 because the second time they're going to Dallas. So Kira Mania 2 will be running wild. I will put this video up later. I got about 200 people to cheer Kira Mania, and this year we're going for 1,000. So that's the main thing we're gonna try to get. And Kira was 12 years old at the time. Now she's 17, going to 18, and she is ready. So before we get to WrestleMania week, let me say hi to everybody real quick first because I like to say hi to everybody's here. Melinda, FSR, Mick Thompson. Mick Thompson, by the way, tomorrow is Mick Thompson
Appreciation Night.
Yeah, so Mick Thompson is one of our big followers, Paul.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, so he's going to be on the show tomorrow. Mick Thompson, get me to make a picture of here as we go through this. Mick Thompson, Melinda, I said that, Casey Daly, Julie. Scroll down for me, honey. Thank you so much. Stephen Chambers, the K9 Way, Matthew. I saw FSR, right? Who else? Missing anybody else? That's everybody.
Hey, I like what Matthew had to say about doing AEW reviews. We'll get to that one night, Matthew. That's a good call.
We will. Trust me. Here it is. Just so you guys know, tomorrow night is Mick Thompson Appreciation Night. As you can see, he's with my childhood hero, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and my new hero, Mick. Mick calls us. He calls Richie, voice chats and leaves messages. He always gives me spoilers. I talked to Mick's mom today. He's so excited about tomorrow. Mick is the biggest wrestling fan, but more importantly, he promotes my channel. He tags me in everything. And I love the kid. I can't say nothing bad about him. He's just a great, great guy. So tomorrow is Mick Thompson Appreciation.
That's right, Mick. It's your night.
Mick Thompson Appreciation Day. We love you, kid.
Yes.
Right, Mick.
We're going to get a shirt that says frickin' Mick because he calls us somebody go frickin' Mick. There will be frickin' Mick merch coming up.
Frickin' Mick.
Awesome.
Let's get to WrestleMania Night 1. Now, Kira, let me, because I don't know exactly. I sent somebody. Oh, God. Sorry, guys. Reply to this. Just get.
Well, what do you want to discuss here while we're? I mean, are we just going to throw out predictions, or do we want to really talk about the good stuff?
Listen, we got plenty of time. I'm on no timeline tonight. It's up to how long you can stay. I'm not watching NXT. These guys can watch NXT if they want to. This is all about WrestleMania, so we got plenty of time. Kira, I don't know what to do.
I'm gonna look up
Night
what's
1
on Night 1.
Kira's gonna get Night 1
because when I got the pictures on WWE.com, it just put them in like.
I got it right here.
You?
I have it.
Okay, so give us Night 1 from not the main event. What you think the least?
Like the kickoff.
Yeah, the kickoff.
For Night 1, from what I see here, what the schedule, the lineup is, what will start Night 1 to me. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say that this match is gonna start WrestleMania Night 1, and I'm gonna go Charlotte and Ronda.
Wow.
Oh.
Let's do it. I like that, Richie. I like that. Let's go.
I'm gonna say that's the opener. We're gonna start with let's get this crap over with, please, because this is crap. And I'm gonna start this real quick.
You go, but I like them.
Rousey should not be in the main event of WrestleMania. I understand that it's all about putting asses in seats and selling tickets and money, and that's the main reason. But if you want to go through hard work and dedication, there's a lot of women in that locker room that should be in this spot. But we're not going to get into that. I'm just going to predict the match. I say Charlotte goes over, keeps the title. Ronda doesn't win the title. And I think that's the best way to go. Ronda is horrible in the ring. I apologize. And I don't think that they should take it from Charlotte if you're going to give it to her to have lackluster matches at WrestleMania Backlash. And what are we going to have? Money in the Bank after Money in the Bank? I mean, come on. What are we going to do? But I got Charlotte going over here clean. And I have maybe Rousey, maybe possibly a heel turn for Rousey again. Who knows? But I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say this is the first match of Night 1. This will not be the main event because there's no way this could be the main event. And this will be Charlotte Flair winning and retaining the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's my prediction.
Whoa, let's go. He is hot. He's on fire, Paul. What do you think?
I'm hot.
I'll be honest with you. I understand and I could see his point. And he made a few comments that are interesting about, putting asses in seats. And the truth of the matter is, does anyone truly feel that bringing back Ronda Rousey is going to put asses in seats? I think her return has been mediocre at best. I just don't. This is definitely not the return. It's not the debut she had. When she came in at first, there was so much behind that. This is not the excitement, or it just doesn't do much for me. And I understand that Charlotte's trying to carry all of this, but it does not really excite me at all. And it's interesting that Ricky says he doesn't think Ronda's very good.
As far as I don't mean to interrupt you, Paul. Just saying, as far as her promo suck.
Yes.
Professional wrestler, like to do wrestling moves and stuff, horrible in WWE. She can do the MMA stuff. I think she's more of it's crazy that I'm gonna say this, but I'd rather see I trust Nia Jax in the ring more than I do Ronda. That's just all I'm going to say right there.
Here's something for everybody listening to just kind of put it in your head as perspective. Imagine for a minute, if for anybody who happens to be a Ronda Rousey fan and really wants to get behind her, because I don't think Ricky's wrong. I definitely don't think Ronda's horrible, because when you've seen horrible, Ronda's definitely not horrible. But is she main event caliber? I don't believe so. And I think if you took the pomp and circumstance of a Ronda Rousey out of the equation and you just looked at the person doing the work in the ring, I don't think anybody would believe this girl should be main event. And it doesn't help that somebody like Charlotte is completely overshadowing her in professional wrestling. So again, the reality of it is I struggle with these things because I look at them from a promoting standpoint, a business standpoint, and I also look at them from a fan standpoint. So from behind the scenes, you have to imagine that a year ago or whatever it was, months ago, when they brought her in, it was a business move. And the intent was, we're going to bring in Ronda Rousey. We're going to pay her all this money. We're going to send her to WrestleMania. And we're going to get all of this hype around her. And the money's already been spent and the time has already passed. And I don't know that payoff is really there, because I don't feel it personally. Definitely not like I did the first time around. Mm-hmm. So long-winded answer there. But at the end of the day, there is a possibility that it opens a show, and that's because of that giant question mark surrounding the Kevin Owens show. Because how do you not? Because listen, everybody listening, are you going to want to sit there at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night and see Charlotte standing there with the title? Because my vote is Charlotte goes over. I don't think you put the title on Ronda. Yep. So do you end Mania with Charlotte in the ring holding the belt, or do you end Mania with Stone Cold in the ring smashing beers together and in his hometown?
Come on, Paul. Come on. How?
Yeah, I don't know how you don't do that.
Yeah, and Tony too. How could you book Charlotte and Ronda at the main event, right? Anybody, if it's not Roman, even Roman and Brock, honestly, that's the only thing you could put there as the main event because of the title match and everything. There's no way you can have Stone Cold go on in the middle of the show after 19 years and come back, and then after that, it's Charlotte and Ronda. The crowd is going to be dead if you do that. That is horrible booking. You have to end it with the rattlesnake. But go ahead, Tom. Well, no, you said Paul said Charlotte to go over, so I apologize.
And just to add to your point, Ricky, outside of the glass breaking to open up the show, that is the only positive I can take out of that. Yes, will you get everybody up? But let me tell you something. Everybody's going to be amped for Mania to start anyway. It's Mania. So hearing Ronda Rousey's music crank to start Mania will get them excited and ready to go. But I just don't think you end it with Charlotte Flair winning the title over a Steve Austin, standing tall. Because I don't know that it's a match, whatever it turns out to be. The bottom line is, they're going to get physical, and it's going to be more than just the old banter back and forth with a stunner. I think it's going to be actually physicality that ends with Steve Austin standing tall. And how do you not end that in his home state?
Mm-hmm.
Both of you guys have some great points. Like, I'm sitting here listening to see if I agree with anything. And I agree with everything. I do. But here's the thing. What you guys are, the factor that you're missing. This is the most stupendous. It's being billed as the most stupendous WrestleMania of all time. Ronda Rousey's mainstream. Vince is always thinking mainstream. That's why we got Logan Paul. That's why we got Bad Bunny before. That's why we get all these Johnny Knoxville. This has been building up for so long. And what we really want to still see is Becky versus Ronda. Don't forget that. That's what we really wanted. Charlotte Flair is a 13-time women's champion. We know she's going to break her dad's record at some point. She's got to lose the title to do that. They didn't bring Ronda Rousey in for $4 million to lose cleanly. No way she's getting pinned clean. So you guys are wrong on that one. There's no way. Number two, I don't agree with them opening the match, opening the card. I'll tell you we'll open later, but everything you guys said was really great. I'm still processing it because everything you're saying makes plenty of sense. But here's the problem. Vince makes no sense. Vince does things because that would be the smart thing to do. What you guys both said is the perfect way you booked this. You know, what a shock to have her lose cleanly.
Can I ask you a question, though?
Sure.
You said she was brought. I understand they spent the money on her. But is Ronda Rousey as mainstream as all these other... Listen, Johnny Knoxville, as goofy as it sounds, literally has a movie released within the last 6 months. Ronda Rousey's biggest claim to fame was her last WWE run. She hasn't been in the UFC. She was not in WWE. She did not leave on the greatest of terms in the fans' eyes. She got a little bit bitter. She didn't like how everything was going. And next thing you know, here she is being brought back, and she comes back, and her performance at best, don't you think there's something a little odd about that mediocre build? There's not a whole lot there. Her biggest criticism from everybody right now is her promos. And if you're Vince McMahon, guess what? How much do you think he spent on Steve Austin? How much do you think he spent on all of these things? This is WrestleMania. He is not going to have WrestleMania.
Let me tell you something. Vince
$1 bill because of Ronda Rousey. He's going to put her wherever he wants to put her.
Vince has spent money on Austin. Who knows how much money, how many millions Austin got from him? Vince has spent money on Cody, right? He spent millions on Cody.
Well, we don't know that yet.
No. I'm just saying. No. This is we'll get into that later, but he spent money on Austin. Cody's there. I'm going to get into that later as well. And he spent a lot of money on this third man that we'll talk about later.
Hey, just to put a pin in this for 5 seconds, we got a comment from Alex Barbero. And just want to take a second to congratulate Alex because him and his they're expecting a new child, and he is going to be a father. So congratulations, man.
Alex, man, congratulations, my brother. Congratulations to you and the missus. Beautiful.
And I'm not going to steal his heat. I'm not going to steal his heat. No, I'm not, because...
Says the guy with 9 children. He's not going to steal his heat.
He's not going to steal his heat.
He stole his heat 40 years ago.
In case you guys missed that. And 7. Anyway, I'm not going to steal Alex's heat, but Alex, congrats. I do know the gender. I don't know if he put it up there. I don't know if it's public knowledge yet, but he texted me, and that's all I'm going to say. He can release that when he comes on the show next time. But congrats. We love you, bro. Oh, no.
What?
No, I want you to do it yourself. We'll bring you in some point later on for one prediction segment. We'll bring you on, Alex.
Definitely, Alex. Alex is the guy that says, "Man, I like this guy. He's so chill and relaxed." And I'm like, "Who are you talking about?" He's like, "You." I said, "Oh, I'm just here."
So, Alex, we'll bring you in at some point during the show. So keep watching, my friend. All right.
You want me to continue to go down the card as to what I think as well? You told me.
I'm not done yet. I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. I apologize, man.
No apology necessary. You can do the next. You can. We'll go with you with which matches you want to go with, and you're fine, bro. I love that.
Okay. No, I'm just making sure that it's on the same page.
Now you get an executive producer credit now.
Well, I had to help the producer win the game, so
it pays the same thing she makes.
Also, I won't be getting that much. Yeah, Kara, that's right.
So, you guys are right. I love every point you made. I just think that Vince doesn't think the way you guys do, rationally. And I think that Ronda goes over. I think Ronda beats her in under 60 seconds.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Don't do that. You can't do that.
Listen.
Is somebody writing this down? Because I can't wait to come on next week to just...
Kara, can you write our predictions down, please?
Please, Kara, please.
60 seconds might be a little bit exaggeration, but I think it's going to be quick. I think Ronda destroys her.
Okay.
I think it's a squash. I think that it would be such a big shock to everybody if Ronda Rousey squashed Charlotte Flair and knocked it down a peg and made her humble. She can humble her ass. I just see something weird with these two happening. I think Ronda needs this because nobody believes Ronda. Nobody believes her. No, everybody here.
Hold on. I'm just thinking about something here.
Uh-oh. We losing Richie?
The UFC women, the 4 horsewomen. Do you get
Paul,
can you hear me?
Paul.
I hear you now.
You hear me?
Yes.
And we lose him. Oh, God. This is
All right. He was going somewhere with the 4 horsewomen, but I don't know. I think that goes back to Black and Gold NXT, and I just don't see anything even relevant to that being brought back.
Me neither.
But I don't know if that was his point. But I can respectfully disagree with you on the fact that I don't know. Maybe that's just in my head that I hate the idea that all of the brought in talent and the paid, because let's be honest, Ronda is being paid to be brought in for a temporary time, whether that's a contract for 1 year, 2 year, whatever, compared to how long Charlotte's been there. I just don't see that her going over just yet.
And I get it. I just think that Vince is going to do something crazy. Richie, how's your connection? You back?
Can you hear me?
Us?
Yeah.
We hear you. You're a little laggy, but we hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So, Tony.
This is it again. Look at this all the time, bro.
So Tony.
Oh, so my thing was.
It's good, Richie. Go. Say it now.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No,
Richie, go. You go. Go, Richie.
All right. My thinking is, what if we get Bailey to interfere in this match?
I mean, possibly.
Maybe costing Ronda the match.
That I don't mind, because I'd be really interested to see Bailey interaction with Ronda if Bailey's clear to come back.
She's cleared.
She's been cleared.
Yeah.
Just like Asuka.
But now here's the other thing, though, and I know this is a big thing that's kind of developed through the years, though, are these things something you save for a Monday Night Raw? Because Tony and I were texting earlier, and he was asking me about, do I think there's going to be many surprises? Outside of Seth Rollins' opponent, I don't know that there are going to be that many surprises. You don't need that many surprises. But if you're going to save something for Raw, a Bailey moment would be great for then, probably. So there's a lot of options with something like that.
All right.
We can go so many ways with this, so we'll be here forever. On this,
we're gonna go.
You two go Charlotte. You guys win Charlotte, and I win Ronda Rousey.
All right.
Okay. Next match, I'm gonna do a couple matches that I think are like squash matches. I don't think they're really of any importance, so we're gonna go with New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods versus Sheamus and Broken Neck Maker, Ridge Holland, which I don't blame him. It happens. It's not his fault.
I struggle with that only because Johnny Gargano and Big E, that bothers me a little bit.
Yeah. So
it bothers me a little bit, but again, to your point, I don't see how Kofi and Xavier lose this. But the question is, out of these squash style matches, do any of them end up on a pre-show? And if you're gonna book a pre-show match, which one of these matches do you put Drew in a pre-show? Do you put?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
Kofi and Xavier in a pre-show.
You have who do you have winning this? Kofi and Xavier?
I have Kofi and Xavier going over on this match.
Okay. Tony, who you got?
Before I make my prediction, I think we'll have a surprise in this match. I think Big E may either walk them down or maybe in the front row or something. I think Big E will be there in some fashion. Just to get rid of the pop he'd get. Now, I'm just saying, I wouldn't do it, but there's no buzz around.
Is he medically cleared to travel, though, with everything he's doing?
Yeah.
Like, with what he's going through, can he even fly right now?
That's true. Good question. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, that's what I do. Good questions. Yeah, but now.
I mean, they are. I got to give it to you. I just think because it's WrestleMania.
Yeah,
It would be-
you get very excited about WrestleMania. You think anything's gonna happen. So far, Bailey's a surprise. Oh, actually, that was Ricky's surprise. So,
But that's the beauty of WrestleMania. You know, the innings, all rules are out the window.
all right,
Anything
let's
happens.
see.
But
Ricky, what do you got happening in this match?
I got New Day.
All right.
We're losing Richie again. Richie. Nope. Nope. He's not muted. He's unmuted. He's not. Nope.
This WrestleMania.
There we
So
go.
I believe that you can expect a lot of swerves. You can expect a lot of hello.
Yes, go.
Good.
Yes.
I think that all right. This is the most stupendous WrestleMania. I think there's going to be I think there will be surprises in this WrestleMania just because of how they're building it. I'm going to go with Sheamus and Ridge Holland here because of the Xavier Woods heel turn on Kofi at WrestleMania.
Oh.
If you have Big E down there watching and you have Kofi and Xavier in there, I really believe that King Woods is going to turn on Kofi and they're going to give him a heel turn and give him a heel run as a single competitor. Possibly in a Continental title, not a joke. Make him serious. Make him, a tough guy, basically. Make him an asshole. It's part of my language, but I think that's what you do. And I think that if this match makes it to the card, I believe that will happen. If this ends up on a pre-show, then I don't believe they will do that on a pre-show. But that's just my take on this match. I feel like Xavier is about to turn. You should turn him again, make him a heel by himself, and let's see what happens.
Interesting.
So
Okay. I'm mad
that's
at you.
that. So we're gonna go with Tony's favorite match of night one. Here it comes, y'all. Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul and The Miz. So
Let me go first on this one.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
The Miz deserves better. He does. The Miz, bar none, 15, 16 years, other than the one little minor injury, he has done everything's asked of him. I don't mind the tag team match, but Logan Paul, yes, he's got all these followers, millions and millions, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But who cares? Why are you doing this to the Miz? 2 years in a row, he's with a celebrity in the celebrity match. Yes, he's mainstream. Yes, he's got the Miz and Mrs. Yes, we get it. But what does this do for the wrestling fans? Yes, it's the entertainment. We get it. But what's it do for the Miz? What's it doing for me? Dominic and Ray, God bless him. Ray's with his dad. Maybe the heel turn comes here at WrestleMania. This is my thing. I think Dominic turns on his dad here. Where best place to turn him here at WrestleMania. That's what I would do. I think they have the papers that prove Eddie Guerrero's really his dad, but that's for another day entirely. Oh, wait. But I see the Miz and Logan Paul going over. I hate it, and I hate it. I just hate the Miz being in this mix.
You got to try looking at things from a different perspective. You've been watching WrestleMania since its inception, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So when WrestleMania comes around, there's always this big discussion for years, right? You got the main event of WrestleMania. Sometimes the main event's not even a world title match at WrestleMania. Then you had, for how many years did we have the streak at WrestleMania? Then you had your Shane McMahon match at WrestleMania, your Triple H return at WrestleMania. WrestleMania becomes this spectacle where you have, if you remove Shane, Triple H, the streak, now it becomes about the main event. And in years past, with Brock doing those opening matches, it was about who's opening and who's closing. And that's it. And now you turn around and you've got this celebrity interaction. And it becomes, like you said, very mainstream. This is a huge win for The Miz. He's not in a title scene. He's not in an opening match. But he's going to be the guy that maybe he's not on SportsCenter like Ronda Rousey, but he's going to be on E! He's going to be on every tabloid show going into it the next day. He's their guy. He's the guy with the reality show. He is that guy. This is a huge I'm sorry, to me, as much as I don't even like or know anything about Logan Paul, and I don't really care for the match, as far as relevance to pop culture, outside of the main event and the opening match, this becomes one of the biggest matches of the night as far as what comes out of it going into next week. And I agree with you, but I love The Miz, and I think what The Miz is capable of doing, this is huge for him when he gets associated with the Bad Bunnies, the Logan Pauls. That's huge for mainstream pop culture. That's the connection. That's why this is an international billion-dollar company. Because take the wrestling fans out of this, the rest of the world now knows what's going on at WrestleMania because of The Miz. So I don't have enough vested interest in this match, so it's a coin toss for me to turn around and say, oh, I think either Mysterio or Miz and Logan Paul go over. The truth of the matter is, does it really matter? It's really about the spectacle of this happening. So I'm just going to flip a coin. I'm going to say they give the happy finish to Rey Mysterio and Dominic. And they go over.
Okay, dokie. I listen. I'm not mad at that prediction at all. I don't. Hell, Richie? Nope.
Oh, we lost him again?
Match is going to go this. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Jesus, man. All right. This is how this match is going to happen. It's going to be fighting on the outside with Dominic and Miz towards the end. Something's going to happen where Dominic is going to bump into Rey or cost him the 619, something. Logan Paul is going to go over on Rey Mysterio. Logan Paul is going to go over on Rey. After the match, we're going to get Dominic and Rey in the ring. Dominic's going to try to help him up. Rey might give him a little shove, like, come on, man. I told you to listen. Why do you think they keep going with the story of, listen, son, just take it easy. Listen to me. Stop going out there. Don't listen to Sami Zayn. Don't listen to these guys. Listen to me. This is the biggest moment in order for them to, well, damn, Tony just transformed. This is the biggest moment for the world to see Dominic on the biggest stage. So I really feel like they will lose the match. I think Logan Paul will go over, and I think we will get Dominic turning on his dad after the match.
All right. That's some good stuff.
I try.
What do we got after that?
All right, next up, we're going to just go and start it off until Tone comes back. We'll do this one quick. This is another one that's kind of retarded. I think this will be on the pre-show, which is a disrespect to this man. But I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre, Happy Corbin.
I already had it up. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start real quick. I think McIntyre goes over. I don't know why I feel that a lot of heels are going to be faces and a lot of faces are going to be heels after WrestleMania.
With that. I got to agree with McIntyre going over on that one too. Again, not much.
That's my thought. I think Madcap Moss turns on Corbin and gives Drew the win.
Very interesting. I definitely think Drew goes over in this one as well. Again, not very invested in it, but it is a shame to think, but again, his run was during a pandemic. It's a shame that it happened that way. Maybe you revisit him in another year or so once things get back up and you see where things go. Because none of us know where this stuff's going to go in a year from now, especially when you're dealing with this unification of a title. Now all of a sudden, maybe unifying the world title makes some of the other belts more relevant.
Yeah, I feel like Drew McIntyre held the whole company on his shoulders during the pandemic. He was like, I don't know, I felt like he was the one like doing all the work on the TV all the time. I feel bad for Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin because one, Happy Corbin
Hopefully.
he was so good as Baron Corbin. I don't know why they keep giving him these gimmicks. These gimmicks are defining him as a wrestler when his wrestling should define him. The same goes for Madcap Moss. Like, he's not a bad wrestler in the ring. They just keep putting him in this stupid gear and making him tell stupid jokes, and it's not even showcasing how talented they are, which is so upsetting. So I hope that they get rid of these gimmicks after WrestleMania, find a way to, like, delete them.
Delete.
I'm sure,
You know, it's
Tony.
interesting
I'm sure
with
your
this.
father has the same thing. Who you got here, Tony?
Who'd you pick? Drew, right?
We-
Drew. We got Drew. We got Madcap turning on Corbin. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I have no interest in this match whatsoever. I think it's a disservice to both these guys. I think this Happy Corbin gimmick is a joke. I think that Drew McIntyre deserves better after putting the WWE on his shoulders during COVID. He's the COVID champion. He's never held the title in front of fans. He deserves better. I mean, I would have teamed him and Sheamus up and gave them a tag team title shot. You know, something. You know, this to me is just a waste. And these are three talented guys, but these 1980s gimmicks are a joke.
Well, you know that the reason that this is really happening is because when Drew got that injury, it was basically because of Corbin and Happy Moss, Madcap Moss, Happy Moss. But so that's where they're going with this. But I just think it's horrible. It's horrible.
Yes.
I'm gonna start this next one off. We're booking here. We're predicting. I've predicted that we're gonna see more turns than we've ever seen before on one show.
Talk now. You are delayed.
What?
Try now. Everybody, just so you know, it's not Richie, it's StreamYard.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I'm gonna start this next. Anytime you don't hear me, give me this. Thumbs down, thumbs up, okay? I'm gonna start this next one. Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair. Women's title for Monday Night Raw. They've been teasing. We saw on Monday, she cut Becky Lynch's hair a little bit. Nothing crazy. Becky's probably getting a different look. Okay. They've been teasing Bianca losing the braid. I think, this is my opinion, I feel that Bianca is going to go over, get the title. No, scratch that. She's not going to go over. Becky Lynch will keep the title. Becky Lynch will keep the title. I believe she will beat her with the manhandle slam. It will be clean. Now listen to this. It will be clean. Bianca is going to snap.
Richie, we're gonna put you in the waiting room. Here you go. He'll come back. So he's basically thinking that Bianca Belair is gonna snap and turn heel. I thought a heel turn was last night. Honestly, I thought. Go ahead, bro.
Very confusing with this whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know how they're booking this thing. It's very confusing to me. To me, I believe Bianca goes over in this one. I think it's been a long-running thing wasn't it last year at Mania when Becky returned?
That was at SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
In Vegas, yeah.
So I gotta go with it finally paying off where Bianca gets the title from Becky after all of this.
I'm gonna just finish. Hold on, Tony. I'm gonna just finish real quick my prediction. So I feel like Becky's gonna win clean, manhandle slam. Bianca's gonna snap, flip out. Right? She's gonna attack her with the chair. She's gonna hit her with the belt. She's gonna hit her with everything, the braid. Right? Then she's gonna go out the ring and grab under the ring a bag. What's in this bag? Is that thumbtacks? She's gonna pull out scissors, and she's gonna cut her own braid off, slam it on the ground, and basically tell the fans, kiss my ass with her little kiss my butt thing, and she's going to walk out, and now she's a heel. That's what I think.
You fantasy booking. I see that. I see it, but you're wrong. I'll tell you why. They've teased this for too long. I do agree Bianca will turn heel. I do agree with that. And she will cheat to beat Becky, but she's going to win the title. I think Becky is too popular to be a heel. People love her. I think they have to turn Seth as well down the road. We'll talk about that later. But they have to give Bianca the payoff after getting beaten 26 seconds. So Bianca regains the title, double turn at WrestleMania, and we'll go from there.
Hey, can I just take a second real quick and answer a comment?
Sure.
Brooke Brunell asked how I got my nickname. Real quickly, when I debuted in wrestling, if anyone doesn't know, because you can't tell in a Zoom box, I am not the largest person in stature. I only stand at 5'5", hence the nickname Frodo. So when I went into ECW, Paul Heyman's idea for a gimmick for me was the giant Paul Luria. So the idea being, I believed I was 6'5" and a monster, even though I was much smaller than everybody else. I was very green, very immature, didn't really understand it at first, tried to make it work or whatever. But after my ECW run and I left and I started doing some indies and I had that ECW name behind me, it was kind of, I started working babyface in the indie circuit, and doing the giant gimmick really just didn't make a whole lot of sense for me. So in essence, I kiboshed that giant gimmick, and by changing it over to the giant killer, it was my way of saying I killed the gimmick that I had to become the giant killer, which was a play on words because I'm so much smaller than most of the guys, because back in the early 90s, there were not a substantial amount of guys my size wrestling. In the early 90s, everybody was over 6 foot tall. It is not like wrestling that you see today. So I was a standout as being the smallest guy on every single show, and had to work extremely hard. So the Giant Killer nickname just kind of stuck for all those years. Thanks for asking, though.
It's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So who's going Bianca? I say Bianca.
I say Becky.
Loria.
I'm going Bianca on this one.
Kira.
Bianca.
I'm on my own.
I guess I'm on my own against the wall.
Oh, wait, that was good.
So the next match, we'll go to this. Usos, Shinsuke, and Rick Boogs.
Boogs! Oh, let me find it.
I got to stick with Usos on this. With the way Roman's storyline going, I don't think the Usos are dropping anything to these guys.
I'm gonna go with Nakamura and Boogs. And this is why I'm going with them. I believe Usos will get the belts back at the next pay-per-view, WrestleMania Backlash, if that's happening. I think they drop it for story purposes of the nights. I think a lot of people are going to feel, the Usos lost. So Roman's got to lose. You understand? So I think that's the reason they do it. It's going to be a shocker. Rick Boogs and Nakamura are going to be the new tag team champions for SmackDown, I believe. They'll hold it for like a month. Usos will get it back. But I think Nakamura and Boogs. Pencil that in, Kira. Boogs and Nakamura for me.
Frodo?
I'm sticking with the Usos. I don't see how you can It just fits. Their storyline with Roman, just the association alone, is way too strong than Nakamura taking tag straps from them. I just think it lends total credibility, which might be showing my hand for what I think's happening for Roman and Brock, but I'm sticking with the Usos on this one.
Richie made a good point, but I mean, for shock value, you're like, oh my god, maybe Roman is going to lose because I think.
Oh well, Roman, I don't know about that, but we'll see.
But I gotta stay with the Usos too, man. I think the Usos, you can't just put a makeshift tag team together. Oh, let's give, no way, no.
Zelina Vega and Carmella.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count. Every woman's tag team in WrestleMania is a made-up tag team.
That's true.
All right. So we got two things left. One is a match. One is a segment. So I'm gonna go with. Do you have the Twitter thing?
I do.
The image from Twitter?
I do.
Let's put that up.
That was already on the slide.
And I'm gonna start this because Kira, don't start. It's Tuesday.
I'm producing over here.
Here we go.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna start this.
Thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down. Leave and come back. Try now.
Don't yell at me.
Go, you good.
Right.
All right, Tony, you go with this one. You start this one. Because I already know where you're going with this.
Try, Rich, you go. He's having problems. I don't want to steal his thunder, but there's two people. This is what oh God, I'm doing a live show. What do you want?
You're doing a live. Get out of here. Can I get my predictions over the phone, please? Because this is ridiculous.
Sure.
Okay. So, I just got back in. I don't know if it's that, but it's like I see it broken up in there.
Am I good?
Go.
All right. Look. All right. So quickly, Seth Rollins. There's an image. I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
I'll pull it up.
I'm gonna pull it up. If you pull it up there, let me know.
No, we're not gonna do it because I think us putting graphics up is messing you up.
You think so?
Just keep talking because you're still on.
All right. Well, I'm good. I'm here. So basically, there was a tweet sent. I'm trying to find it, but it was basically whoever this person is that's facing against Seth Rollins, sent a tweet out, and the tweet is registered to nobody. It's just basically a empty tweet, an empty person, and it says like anonymous, and I'll find it shortly. But anyway, and it says this is what the tweet headline says. Now this could be all angle, all swerve. I don't know. But I think it's because of everything that I've been saying for the past few months. Paul, you know this. You know where I'm going. It says on the tweet, not only did I take your WWE title, but I'm going to take your WrestleMania moment. This is the tweet, and this is officially from, I believe, WWE as well.
Vacant is
vacant WWE. I truly believe that this Cody and Seth match is not happening. I think we get Cody on Raw Monday night. I don't think Cody's in WrestleMania. I really feel
Oh,
This is in my heart, and I've been saying this, and I've been sticking with it. Paul, you already know what I'm going to say.
say
So
it.
dramatic, and he froze. That's like the worst thing ever.
Oh,
That is like the craziest cliffhanger ever. I have no idea what he was gonna say. Oh,
Okay, look.
We will get.
Stay on the phone because
I'm on both things here. We will get Seth Rollins in the ring, and you will have the Fiend return to the WWE, who never left, who took a break to get himself together. We will see the Fiend in a huge shocker, and I believe that this match will go on before the main event of Stone Cold and KO. I believe this will be the second to last match. This will be the main event match of WrestleMania Night 1. Bray Wyatt will come out to the biggest pop he has ever had. I think AT&T Stadium is going to rock like never before when the Fiend returns. That is my prediction.
should I hang up on him now?
I think you should.
it's not a bad call.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
All right, you're back.
For now.
Listen, it's not a bad call to say that. I mean, you're coming out of left field with it, but it's not a bad call. And fantasy booking is very fun. I mean, I'm going the other direction. I'm not doing the Cody thing either. I'm doing the Undertaker call, and I'm calling the Undertaker not for a match. I'm calling the Undertaker for the moment. Listen, he's in the Hall of Fame. We already know he's in the building. And the reality of it is the spectacle of the entrance alone, and if it's nothing more than, the tombstone with 2 or 3 of his moment things, not that there's a ref or a bell, almost very similar to the Steve Austin situation. I think that moment alone, because now here's the other dilemma we're going to have. Everybody under the sun thinks and believes it's Cody, and whatever you're doing better outshine Cody or it's going to get crapped all over. And you've limited your options on very many surprises. Do I think your booking of the Fiend can do that? To a degree, I do think it would. I think it would be a cool surprise. I think there's going to be massive Cody chants, but I think that would kind of stop them to a degree. It came so far to left field. I'm just going to go with a crazy, out of the blue, big, huge entrance. Because if you think about Seth Rollins anticipating that entrance, what's going to happen, and the lights go black and it's a gong, I think that place goes, again, home state, I think that place goes insane. So that would be my call.
And I like your call, Loria. I think both you guys have those are 2 great surprises. We do know there's going to be a surprise in the Seth Rollins match. We don't know who the opponent is. Mm-hmm. So someone in the arena is going to be surprised, and for someone it's going to be like, yeah, we knew it. So let's talk about my pick, okay? I've been promoting this for weeks that Cody is coming. Every week I go, Cody debuts, question mark. Does Cody debut? Cody versus Seth. And I think 100% that was true up until yesterday. I always thought The Undertaker would have some kind of match, that he would do something. So, what the heck's going on? What is that background noise? Who's listening to the show?
I'm not. I hear it, but it's not coming from my end. So you're not on the Cody bandwagon now.
I'm going with The Undertaker.
Wow.
After the Vince thing, After the YouTube thing with Vince, do you see it?
I did. Yes. Yep.
Vince is inducting The Undertaker into the Hall of Fame. He's picking his opponent. It's The Undertaker. It's The Undertaker. It's no way else could be somebody else, anybody else. What a pop that's going to be. The only thing that worries me is that do you do it right before Stone Cold? If you do anything, do you make this the opening match? Do you get the big pop right away? Do you do Seth right away and the Undertaker right away? We set it off WrestleMania off, boom, because we already know that the main event for Saturday is is Stone Cold and KO. So where do you put the Undertaker? You can't put him out there in a mission. What do? You open with Seth Rollins, and you hear that gong. You set this shit off
I don't
right.
know about that though. I got to be honest. I don't. With it being a surprise, I don't know. I think there's so much excitement with the surprise that I don't think placement on the show affects that. If I'm booking a show, obviously the most important thing is the main event and what you're sending everybody home with. The next most important thing to me is what I'm opening my show with. And something like this, let's hypothetically speaking, if it were The Undertaker, I could put that anywhere I want because when that happens, the only thing that's going to be affected is whoever has to follow that. Now, if you're going to do it in the middle of the card and somebody has to follow that right away, it's going to hurt for them. But you know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't care if The Miz and Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio and them follow it right away, something like that. I think you keep him away from Stone Cold, so it's going to go dead set in the middle because it's a great moment. You know, there's going to be so much buzz and excitement around it once you introduce Seth, everybody. And the fun of it is, yeah, they're going to be chanting Cody nonstop.
Yeah.
They've been doing it already.
Right.
But to that point, whatever that surprise ends up being, it can't fall short of Cody. So whatever it is that they end up doing, I believe it can go anywhere you want. That to me doesn't hold like we know Austin is coming. So you're going to say, where are you putting this guy? Because don't throw Steve Austin out. We don't know about The Undertaker. And The Undertaker isn't so much of the farewell as it is the entrance. So it's really just about the moment and the spectacle itself of that entrance. And there's no streak. So this doesn't have to be anywhere near the final main event spot of the card. But didn't Vince McMahon say something about I'm giving you your main event moment or something like that? But that might have been him just being crazy and old. Something like this.
Who's listening to the show?
I got nothing.
Okay, it's not me. We're getting a lot of feedback, guys, and this is just killing the show. But I want to just say this as well. Everybody thinks he's going to just show up. I believe it'll be a match. I believe that there'll be a ref. I believe that we'll see basically a squash like he did Cena.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I don't think it's going to be the same as the Austin segment. I just don't think it has to be a long match because he could come out there, hit 3 or 4 things in Tombstone Seth Rollins. It doesn't do anything to Seth Rollins. Rollins comes out the next day complaining how this guy was not supposed to be there. He's retired. He can't be. It's no way. It's totally believable because really the 10 minutes they have in the ring together, it's going to be 7 minutes of an entrance.
Right. The entrance is going to take.
And that's what we're looking at. That's the spectacle, you know? No one really cares about the actual the match. Who cares about that?
It's not Taker because Taker what?
Hello? Paul, you there?
I'm good.
Richie, yeah, no.
He's going back in the closet.
Yeah, he is. I want to see in the comments. Do you guys think it's Cody The Fiend, The Undertaker, or someone else? Let's get a little bit of interaction going.
Stephen Chambers commented that we may see Cody in Ring of Honor. And this is very interesting because this goes to a text that I sent you last week. And I don't want to go off on a tangent on the whole Cody, Ring of Honor, AEW, all that stuff. But I believe there's a very good likelihood that Steve Chambers is correct. I believe Cody is done with his AEW contract, but still going to be employed by Tony Khan, and it's going to be associated with Ring of Honor. And I believe The Undertaker will show up for Seth Rollins. And listen, for everybody who's going to talk about how all of these things are being, said through social media, every worker in the world uses social media to their advantage. As long as you're relevant. We've seen Randy Orton taking pictures before his contract with signs that say elite. It draws attention. MJF right now is doing interviews talking about Bruce Pritchard. It draws attention. Cody would be a complete idiot not to create a world where there's nothing but speculation about where he's going. It's brilliant. And if he wants to set it up where the world thinks he's going to the WWE and he's not, so be it. And if the WWE hears that, they'd be crazy to kibosh it because it's only drawing more eyes on, because you said it yourself. How many people are tuning in just to see if Cody shows up? So even if you're sitting there backstage as a producer and creative saying, we're not signing this guy, but everybody's tuning in to see it, they're not going to be mad at WWE. They're going to be mad at Cody. So keep going with it, Cody. Like, it's a win-win for everybody when they talk about it. So all the social media banter does not do anything for me. I told you my thoughts on Cody separately when it comes to the math just does not, the timeline and the math don't add up to me. I don't see it being a WWE run.
All right. So we got some Undertakers in the comments. Go ahead, Rich.
I just think that Rollins is going to come out. He's going to have his entrance. I just think he's going to be in the ring. Who knows if he even says Cody in the ring? Come on, Cody. Who knows? And I just feel like the lights go out and everyone thinks it's The Undertaker and it's going to be The Fiend. I think it's an ultimate swerve, man. The Fiend told Vince, I need a break. I'm just going to go to Hollywood for a little bit, release me, and then re-sign me again when I'm ready. And they said Vince allowed it. This is a rumor.
Do you think, though, there's a chance that the world will shit on that return because they're expecting Cody or The Undertaker? See, I do.
No.
Tony,
and I'll tell you.
Let's put this out there. Let's put it out there. Tony, you are an Undertaker fan. You're a Fiend fan. You're a Cody fan. Are you going to be disappointed if it's The Fiend, thinking it's either Cody or The Undertaker? Do you think the fans might take a dump all over that?
All three of those guys are top-tier caliber workers. I don't think anyone will be upset with any three of those guys. The wild card is Gable Stevenson. We're not even talking about him because he's supposed to be at WrestleMania as well. Is that a big name? That may be that would be a disappointment to people. I think
I think he shows up at night 2. I don't think he shows up at night 1.
But I don't think if you go with Cody, Fiend, or Undertaker, I don't think you go wrong with any three of those guys. It could be it's a 33 to 30% chance it's going to be one of them. So, it's anybody else. Who do you have?
Who else took the title from Rollins? If it's true, we're just gonna go off that. If that speculation is true, Bray Wyatt took the Universal title from him, not the WWE title. So who beat Rollins for the WWE title? Ambrose, Moxley. That's what we're talking about here. He's not coming. Who else beat him? Roman. Roman's not gonna face him. So who else beat Seth for the title when he had it?
I don't know that matters, though, does it? Remember, what is the story being told? This is storytelling 101. What's the story being told? The story being told is that Seth fell off the tracks, and he's trying to get back on the tracks and get a WrestleMania moment. This isn't about Seth's history. It's not about who beat Seth in the past for a belt. None of that's relevant. It's about Seth was losing every opportunity to get in there, and now finally he threatens to hijack a show, and Vince McMahon himself says, okay, enough with this. I'm going to put you out there. You've earned your spot. I'm going to hand select an opponent for you. All of the past stuff is not it doesn't matter. There doesn't have to be a tie to it. The question remains, now it goes down to what Vince McMahon chooses to do to Seth Rollins at that moment, and that's where you have to figure out, where does that make sense? You know,
I think it makes sense for the Fiend only because if you look at little Easter eggs and stuff, I don't think they dropped them like that about it, but he wants to get to WrestleMania, right? So who knows if you're going to see Vince anyway a lot this weekend. So who knows if Vince comes out after Seth is introduced and he says, listen, you wanted me to let you in WrestleMania. He says, so I'm going to let you in. And I'm also going to let him in. And he walks off, and here comes Bray Wyatt. That would be money if that happened. I think it would be honestly money. If Bray Wyatt comes back, I think he's going to get a bigger pop than Cody Rhodes. That's my opinion. Because I feel like a lot of people kind of forgot about the Fiend. They kind of thinking he's going to AEW, control your narrative, Impact, whatever he's doing. I really feel that he never was leaving WWE. He never left them. And I think this is his time to come back. He was at Mania last year. He got buried. And then what happened? Nothing. They didn't do nothing with him for a whole year. Now he's back, and he's gonna take out Seth, and I think it's gonna start. Maybe the Fiend is the man that's the face of Monday Night Raw if they create a new title or they give back the big gold title. We don't know.
It's very interesting because if you read through the comments, you got people coming from every direction. You got people saying John Cena. You got people saying it's only designed to put somebody new over, meaning the future. So is it somebody that's nobody knows and he's going to put somebody over? Is it a legend? This could go any which way. So it should be very interesting to see where this goes.
What about that comment? What if it is Vince?
Yeah, God.
Remember,
God,
Vince is supposed to have a match.
Please God no. Please God no.
No.
But, okay, let's get.
He could barely get through that promo the other day. The guy he's earned every bit of respect that he gets, but has no business at this point getting in that ring. That's just too dangerous.
Well, let's go to the main event of night one. You know what it is. I don't have to tell you. It is the main event. It is Kevin Owens, the KO show, with the Texas Rattlesnake, the toughest son of a bitch in the whole WWE. Old WWF back in the days, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think this is the beginning of one last run for Austin.
Wow, you're going to run.
I say that Austin is going to be on a part-time run. Who knows if he does full-time? I think he will do a part-time run in the business, a couple of events here and there where sometimes he'll come and give a promo. Sometimes he'll have a match. Give him a match at SummerSlam. Give him a match at the Rumble. Put him in the Rumble. He'll be safe in the Rumble. Nobody's going to hurt him. And then,
I don't know. I got to be honest with you, though. When you start booking this, like I said, it's great that Steve Austin's there. But again, what is the point of all this? It's a monumental moment that it's going to give KO the rub. So the reality of it being, this is why it's being billed as the KO show, not a match. It's a fun story that brings in Steve Austin, that he's expected to be there. He comes in there. It's not a match. You don't have to worry about all logistics. It can go outside, inside. There's no time limit. There's nothing else. I don't think it goes that long. I think it just goes in there to the point where it is a full-blown brawl, but it goes for a few minutes, not just the old school talk back and forth, kick, stunner, and the match. No, I think this is Steve Austin goes after him. I think then KO gets the upper hand on Steve Austin, draws a little bit of heat. Steve Austin blows a comeback and hits a stunner for the quote-unquote win, which was never a match, but more of the brawl. It gives people a few minutes of the invested time into something that wasn't billed as a match. I guess the $1 million question that everybody wants to know is, why didn't they bill this as a match? Why is it as a KO show? Well, maybe it was that intrigue to see how is this going to go. Maybe that speculation of never showing Steve Austin. Maybe if it was billed as a match, then maybe you'd want to have Steve Austin in there week after week cutting promos that he's not actually cutting. So maybe by saying it's a segment, I'll be at your segment, end of story, it eliminated Austin from having to be there at all, and it's going to be a one-time glass break moment, which props to Kevin Owens for that glass break moment a few weeks ago. That was incredible. But the reality of it is, you know, it would kind of lose its luster if Austin was coming out week every week. We've seen it with Goldberg when he would come back. We've seen it with other people that came back. Austin is a one-off for that night. And I don't think it's a match. I don't think there's a referee. It is a brawl, but it goes long enough for a back and forth, so it's not just going to be KO getting destroyed. I think there will be a little bit of a rub for KO.
Okay, my bad.
What were you going to say?
No, I agree with everything, except that I do think it's going to be a match. I think they'll find a way somehow to get a ref down there so that Stone Cold gets a 3 count. I don't think it's going to be a long match. I don't think that it's going to be something where – you got to realize – Stone Cold Steve Austin is not Stunning Steve where he has to have a wrestling match. He kicks and punches, you know, clotheslines, Luthez presses. I think we'll have a match here. I think that I do think it's a one-off. I mean, it might be a 2-off. Last night Brock Lesnar said something about Stone Cold, and he mentioned this when he was being interviewed that he loved this. He never got to wrestle Stone Cold in the ring.
Next year.
No, I don't think. I don't think it goes that far. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's stay with this. I think Stone Cold being out 19 years always had in the back of his head he wasn't going to come back just because. And he really likes Kevin Owens. He put Kevin Owens over on the Rich Eisen show. He's been putting Kevin Owens over on Sports Center, saying this guy's a great talent. I think that with him giving Kevin Owens the rub, even though he would pin Owens in a match, it gives them that one-on-one match that, you know, it's his dream. That Kevin Owens has that feather in his cap that he got to wrestle Stone Cold Steve Austin in a match. I think we see a ref. I think that Stone Cold stuns him and pins him. I do think they will give Kevin Owens a little bit of love, and he'll kick out of one stunner, and then maybe get pinned with the second one. That would be the ultimate rub for Owens to kick out of a stunner. That would the crowd would go nuts to see Kevin Owens get stunned by the greatest of all time, Stone Cold, and kick out. The look on Stone Cold's face is going to be classic. Number one, he's got the best faces like The Rock, and then of course he stuns Stone Cold. Stone Cold kicks out, and then we get the stunner with Kevin wins. Hold on, and Kira's got her hand up, so let her get in real quick.
I just had a quick question. It's like a yes or no question. I don't know. So, we know that it's like stunner versus stunner with this thing going on here because KO put on his new merch.
Good.
But do we see Stone Cold get stunned? Or is Stone Cold doing all the stunning?
Yes. Stone Cold had a WWE officially licensed and produced ring at his house. He's had it for months. This was kept on the DL. It was leaked by somebody. He had a ring. He's been training. He's been staying in shape. He's been preparing for another match.
If you notice, Stone Cold looks great.
If you've seen him on a recent interview, his arms are brolic. I'm like, what the hell?
He's jacked.
Okay, let me ask everybody here a question. When Stone Cold's music hits,
will it be Owens or will it be Steve?
No. Owens is in the ring. He's introducing Stone Cold, right? So when we legitimately get Stone Cold to make his entrance, I really believe Stone Cold's going to come out with the black trunks, the knee braces, and the vest on. That's my opinion. He's not coming out with jean shorts. He's not coming out with the jorts. He's not coming out with anything. He's coming out with his ring attire on, and he's going to show you. You're going to see Stone Cold walk down the aisle with a 6-pack on his chest, not of beers. He's going to look amazing, and I think everybody's going to be like, holy shit. what is about to happen here? And I think that's your big moment right there.
Kira, to your point, I do think you got to throw a KO stunner in there. And Tony, I do love your call on KO getting the rub to kick out of the stunner. I mean, again, all of us have followed wrestling for our lives. And when you said it, I never thought of it, but when you said it, I almost like popped a little bit. Like,
I saw it.
Oh, that would be very, very cool to see the kick out of the first one, and then the other one, then the match ends or whatever it ends up being. But that would be very, very cool. Very cool.
I just think. God, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rich.
No. I don't want to ramble on, but just go ahead. I was just saying, do you think anybody else is going to get involved in this?
No way.
No, I don't think you touched this with anybody else.
It taints it. Anybody gets involved, it taints it. It taints it. There's not many people who kicked out of the stunner. The Rock has. I don't know who else. I don't think Triple H has ever kicked out of the stunner. I know Brett never has. I don't know anybody who's kicked out of the stunner other than The Rock. Him and Hogan never got to go at it.
Well, that would be the definition of Austin going over and Owens getting over.
Right. So
that is like legitimately how you do it. Listen, we all know that, we all have heard the term doing the honors. Tony, when we've wrestled, we know what doing the honors is. For Austin to come back, no different than a Kurt Angle and everybody else that has ever gone out. You go out usually putting the other guy over, but usually that doesn't happen when you come back after 20 years for a one-off. So I'm totally cool with Austin. And again, under the assumption that this turns into an actual match, I'm totally cool with Austin, going over, but I would love to see Owens kick out of the first stunner.
Go ahead, Tone, I guess. I mean, I was just going to say, Kevin Owens' contract, was this in the contract? Is this why he stayed? A promise match with Austin, and they said, listen, you're going to go over. If KO goes over, he better become the champion within the next couple of weeks.
They cannot have Stone Cold lose in Texas. That won't happen. No way on earth. That
it could happen.
I'll burn Dallas to the ground.
I think that's the best decision to do.
No way.
Push Kevin Owens to the moon.
No way.
Super heat.
Listen, after he kicks out of the stunner, Kevin Owens is God.
Kevin Owens wins.
No, Ricky. Push Kevin Owens to the moon. What happened when Baron Corbin beat Kurt Angle?
Oh, no, come on. We'll talk about Baron Corbin.
No, we're talking about
alleged
Kurt Angle putting this kid over, and he's the guy you said might be in the pre-show.
But you got to remember, it's always about the booking, and it's always about, so you could have Corbin beat Kurt Angle. Corbin should have been on a fast track to doing something. Doesn't have to be the world champion, but at least give him a U.S. title, Intercontinental title, make him relevant. But no, they dropped the ball with that. KO is way more talented and way better than Corbin to me, all around. I'd take KO over Happy Corbin any day. Now, if you give me Corbin back in the days when he was the lone wolf, I will take that gimmick. That's it.
We're losing focus on what this is about, everybody. This is Stone Cold's swan song. This is his goodbye, most likely. There's no way you're going into Texas and he loses. It taints his legacy if he gets pinned in a match. It taints him.
All right, so final call.
Thank you. I'm going
Austin going over
in a win with a 1-2-3.
All right, I'll bite on that. I didn't think it at first, but I'll bite on it.
But Owens does show up and show out and kicks out the stunner, and he gets the biggest heel pop because I'm going to make sure I have a good seat so I get on TV like this. Mouth dropped. Because go ahead, Rich.
I'm going to go with KO. If it's a match, KO's going over, and I'll tell you why.
Oh my God.
No, you got
No.
Who thought
why?
Who thought Undertaker was going to lose ever?
But that's different. It's a different setting.
It's not different. It's the same thing.
We can
No,
argue on this.
the streak was an annual match that you put in the WrestleMania
Exactly.
card year after year, and he lost it eventually, and that's fine. That is not the same thing as being out of the business. He did the honors, put The Rock over 19 years ago. 19
years. Austin's
Comes back for a one-off.
To lose?
To lose doesn't.
Well,
bring him back
people forget about his match with Eric Bischoff at No Way Out 2003, and that was after WrestleMania.
That's storyline driven. That's not the same thing.
He was in the ring.
All right, listen, we're way off course here, and we're running out of time. So we got to touch base on
night
two.
All right.
Don't go, Vince.
The highlights of night 2.
Don't go.
We got to go to the highlights of night number 2.
All right, so night 2.
Does anyone care about Omos and Bobby Lashley?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. I'm gonna start with that match. Omos, Bobby Lashley. Let's get the graphic up.
Yes.
Let's get the graphic up. We're gonna talk about this match because I really feel like I think the original plan was Gable Stevenson against Omos at Mania. He was gonna come in, body slam him, pin him. It was over. Now, I want to say MVP is going to turn on Lashley and go with Omos.
Your pick?
My pick is going to be Omos.
Go, Paul.
I don't care about this match at all. I'm going to say Omos goes over because they're building this guy. There was no build whatsoever going into this. They threw Bobby Lashley at him last night. So it's fine, however it works out. But again, I think you're building Omos to the future. He's just way too green, and he's not good enough yet. Maybe they had bigger plans for him for WrestleMania that he's just not there yet. I don't know. But the bottom line is they want to go forward with this guy in the future. So that's the only reason why I would say he'd go over. It's a disservice to Bobby Lashley, though.
I agree with that. I think this is a way for. I think Vince feels he's made a mistake as usual with this big man. I think this is a way to bury Omos. I think Bobby Lashley pins him cleanly, and I think it goes by real fast. I think that they expose Omos for the green, big freaking elegante, great Khali 2.0.
Yeah, he's like another great Khali, is what you're saying?
Yes.
All right, I can buy into that.
Or Omos goes over and we get another big man in the ring that we never seen, like a Von Wagner. But we're gonna keep Von Wagner in the back of your head, ladies and gentlemen. That's
so now,
all I'm gonna say.
Listen, I think on the next one, I think it's safe to say no one believes Pat McAfee's actually going to win the match, right? But Pat McAfee will have a good showing against Austin Theory, and it's a good opportunity for both of them.
Yeah, I think Theory goes over. You have to put Theory over. To me, Theory is the next face of WWE.
I don't know about face, but he's definitely a kid getting a big push.
He's good. He's money. Theory's money.
You both going Theory?
I'm going Theory. Yes, absolutely.
Theory for me too.
I don't think this hurts Theory if he loses. I think that McAfee finds a way to maybe cheat to win or maybe get some help from somebody. But I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going with McAfee on this one. I think McAfee gets – I think that Vince loves him so much, loves McAfee as what he does for for SmackDown as commentary. I think that Vince going on McAfee's show is another rub towards McAfee. It doesn't hurt Theory if he loses, especially if McAfee finds a way to cheat. I think McAfee gets a WrestleMania moment. I think it's good for business. I think it's good for SmackDown. I think their ratings go up because of it. McAfee is the only reason why I watch SmackDown. For him to see him dancing on the table with Nakamura's music is awesome. I'm going Pat McAfee on this one.
All right.
So
with that one,
we're good. Let's get this out the way too. Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn. I'm gonna say Johnny Knoxville because I believe Steve-O and all these guys will be there from Jackass. They're gonna assist him with the win. It's gonna be the big thing going on. There's gonna be all type of props probably. It's anything goes. Of course, somebody's gonna get involved. Johnny Knoxville goes over. It's sad to say that, but I'm gonna go Johnny Knoxville for the celebrity factor and all that crap.
Yeah, I don't see it. I can't do it. No way in the world could I do that to Sami Zayn. Not with his history. So I'm going Sami Zayn.
This is a tough one because you got Johnny Knoxville, who's just got that movie out. He's already been part of the Rumble.
But this is the payoff to that. They already promoted the movie. The movie's already on demand. This is it. This is the final payoff. Send him out of here. Tomorrow, come Monday, he's gone. He doesn't matter if he loses. Sami Zayn will still be here, though.
What better way to make Sami Zayn more of an a-hole on television? Losing to Johnny Knoxville. I'm gonna.
Don't say it. Don't even say it.
I'm gonna go.
You're gonna lose your wrestling man card if you say it.
I'm gonna go. See, I was gonna go with Zayn. Now you make me upset. No, I'm gonna stay with Sami Zayn on this.
You better stay with Sami.
Let's not. Everybody, we'll go to the next match. But everybody, don't forget about Elias. That's all I'm gonna say too. Elias is not gonna be Elias, but I think he's coming back maybe after WrestleMania.
Okay, look. Wait a minute. I want to get Alex Barbero in here. I sent you, Alex. If you're watching, I sent you an invite. I want Alex to reveal the gender of his child and let him chime in on night 2. So, Alex, where are you?
Alex has some comments.
Yeah, let's get Alex in here, man. So, you want to wait or you want to go?
We'll do a little commercial, guys. If you're part of Mania Club, some of you guys are watching.
I'm gonna get a drink.
Okay, goodbye. If you're part of Mania Club, everybody, WrestleMania weekend, Mania Club, of course, is having their tailgate. I will have the Tantalizing Tony table at the tailgate nights 1 and 2 of WrestleMania. That is Saturday and Sunday. I will be talking to STP, Shane Taylor Promotions, as well as the Hitmakers will be there at the tailgate. It's going to be a great night of fun. I'm going to share the page right now, everybody. I'm going to kick Richie out for a second. Here we go. The WrestleMania tailgate. It's so many people are going. They sold so many tickets. Pecan Lodge is sponsoring this. I got to see the menu for this deal, bro. Just so you know, it was $125 all you can eat and drink. It seems like a lot of money, but it's really not because we're there. Huh?
I said, really?
We're there all day. We're there all day and all night. So even after Mania is over, So
that's insane.
I'm talking about Texas barbecue. I'm talking about.
Oh, you're making me so jealous because I'm not going to be in Texas,
bro. I'm talking about ribs as far as the eye can see.
Oh.
Barbecue. Yes, barbecue chicken, burgers, fries, shrimp on the grill, the whole deal. Not to mention if you drink libations, if you are over the age of 21 and you have your ID.
You've been there for a long time. Sorry, my bad.
A rim shot when rim shots do.
All right.
You deserve that. If you like daddy sodas, as Dave LaGreca calls them, there'll be daddy sodas there. It's going to be a great night. But the most important thing is that Mania Club does the most work for Connor's Cure. Connor's Cure, if you guys don't know who Connor is, Connor McCulloch, big fan of the WWE. Daniel Bryan was his favorite. He died about 5 years ago, I believe, due to cancer. Mania Club does so many things for charity, not just Connor's Cure. They do a lot of stuff. They go into the hospitals to visit the kids. They do fundraisers. If you guys want to belong to a great wrestling community, join Mania Club on Facebook. Very simple. I'll zoom in for so you guys can see the name. There's a logo right there. That logo is on my banner. Let me zoom in for you. My producer is upstairs. I'm going backwards. I'm going the wrong way. Great. I can't do it, but yeah, there we go. Here we go. There we go. Right here, it's spelled just like this on Facebook, everybody. Mania Club. Just type in Mania Club. There'll be a little form you got to fill out to join. If you mention Tantalizing Tony, they'll accept you because I vouch for my people. It's a great wrestling club to belong to. They do a lot of stuff. We do promo battles. I even cut a little promo tonight for Mania Club's tailgate. basically, I'm actually short, I guess. You know, I don't get in trouble for this.
Dove deodorant.
Uh-oh.
Make sure you layer up in Dallas, Texas for WrestleMania. If you want to be a champion, like Tantalizing Tony.
Stay tantalizing. Be a member of this group. You got to want every day. It takes time, money, energy to be part of Connor's Cure. And don't forget, WrestleMania weekends at Tailgate, that's what Mania Club is all about. Paul, do you know what that was a take on?
I have to see it again.
Okay, hold on.
It seemed eerily familiar.
Let me unmonetize this so I don't get in trouble because I had something in there. So give me 1 second. Bear with me, guys. This is the wrong one. Hold on. Let me unmonetize this. I'm in the wrong video. Jesus Christmas. Here we go. Monetization is off. Okay, it's off. Right? Okay. Make sure it's off. Hold on. It says on. Sorry, guys. Live TV. Oh, it's on. Let's take it off. Off. There we go. Okay. So once again, all right, Paul. Let's see if you can. Let's see if you can watch. Oh God. Let's see if you can watch this. Where did I do with it? I just lost it. This, guys, I am not good with this stuff. I have a producer for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, bear with me while we
user.
All right, here we go.
Paid for by the following.
Wait.
Dove.
Hold on. Let's go back.
I don't have video. I only have sound.
Hold on, give it to you right now. All right, pay attention, everybody.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Dove deodorant. Make sure you layer up in Dallas, Texas for WrestleMania. You want to be a champion, like Tantalizing Tony.
Stay tantalizing. Here we go. Be a member of this group. You got to want every day. It takes time, money, energy to be part of Connor's Cure. And don't forget, WrestleMania weekends at Tailgate, that's what Mania Club is all about. Do you know what
Promotional consideration.
Why did I just think it was like an Ico Pro commercial?
That's it. To be the World Wrestling Federation champion, you got to want it every day. It takes an integrated approach to training, and that's what Ico Pro is all about.
I hate that I knew that. I hate you for this.
Good job.
Oh,
buddy.
this is what I can't stand about you. You do this to me all the time.
That was awesome.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know where Richie.
Somebody's asking, is that a play on the Avengers? No, it's about 40 years before the Avengers.
Shut your mouth.
Oh my goodness.
Right. Okay, so.
All right, listen, it's me and you. Let's cut right to the chase here.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Alex. I don't know where he is. Alex, I sent you an invite. Let's see. Okay, let's go. Hold on. Let's mention this. Look who's going into the Hall of Fame.
How awesome is that?
I know you would love this.
My childhood favorite tag team.
Yes.
Obviously, as I grew older and I learned more about wrestling and more about tag teams, there's obviously some other tag teams that were phenomenal as well. But growing up, that was my team. Outside of Sting and the Ultimate Warrior, Scott Steiner might have been the I don't know if I'd call it influence, because I think Jushin Thunder Liger was more of an influence for me. But I think the idolizing of somebody was like, I think I wanted to be like Scott Steiner when I was a kid. Might have also been the mullet that I had when I was a kid, but yeah, all time incredible, greatest. So good, so good. I'm so happy about that.
I am looking forward to this for one reason. Scott Steiner. What is he gonna say?
Yes, you're looking for a train wreck, though. That's a problem. Wait, hold on. I thought. We're about to open up Pandora's box with that. But Alex is saying that he's still here waiting for the email.
Yeah, he just texted me. I sent him another one. I sent two. So he has two email addresses. So I think the first one, there he is. All right.
Now, it's interesting, though, because Scott's got to worry about his nephew now, you know?
Right.
So you got to imagine this is not just fly-by-night. Yes, he has a controversial past with comments that he's made about everybody, but so has everybody else. I mean, the Warrior had some pretty horrific things to say about some people too. So for Scott to come around and maybe he recognizes now what's going on with his nephew and the light that they're shining on him, I don't know that he'd want to jeopardize something like that.
I agree. I want to say two things before I bring Alex in. Those titles are beautiful.
Yep.
And number two, at the convention at Icons Wrestling this weekend, someone had one.
Really?
And it was legit. And I almost had a trade going until some woman opened her mouth out there. This guy was going to trade the title with me. I have duplicate titles. You know that. So I'm going to tip my hand on something. So everybody knows how I love this title so much and how I've always promoted this as my favorite title.
My favorite title also.
But I have two of them. There's one. This is the one from 2010. I have one from 1999 that hasn't been touched. That's still in the actual sleeve. I've only touched it 3 times with my fingerprints.
Really?
Yes. So this is the one I carry around. So I was going to trade him this one for that. Because this is the 2010 version. I have, and I may reveal it when we get back from WrestleMania. You see that you love this title, don't you, right?
It is. I'm trying to show you something. Yes, you know how much I love that title, and it's very, very. I gotta find this as we're talking. I'm trying not to be that guy.
Okay.
All right, so I'm about to send you a text. I know you already have this, but I'm gonna send it to you right now, real quick.
Now I'll send it to my email real quick. Bear with this, guys. It's live TV. We don't care.
So now, a little backstory. You know this. Back in the early 1990s, there were no such thing as replica belts. Remember that?
Nope. There were no. Well, not by WWE. There weren't.
No, but there were by who?
Storm and Mike Norman.
Yes, and Storm and Mike Norman was kind enough to show me his craft and his skill, and I was able to help him with a few.
Oh.
So if you go back to one of the first meetings we ever had, a homemade replica belt of my favorite belt back then with you and I, and if that picture comes through, you can show everybody.
I got it. I'm about to send it to my email right now.
So while you're doing that, though, while we're talking about that belt, quick question for you, quick little survey for you and the fans listening.
Survey says?
WCW Steiner Brothers or WWE WWF Steiner Brothers?
Ooh!
I gotta go with WCW. I'm sorry on that one.
Let me tell you why I want to go with the WWF Steiners, and it's gonna sound really, I'm a mark. I love their song. I just love their theme music.
Yeah, but they had "Welcome to the Jungle" by Guns N' Roses when they were in WCW.
Okay, everybody, this is Paul and I. This is my Razor Ramon days. Ayo!
And I was in my ECW days, actually, apparently, because I had an ECW shirt on. But yes, but who cares about us? Take a quick look.
Oh, sorry.
We have gone off the rails. Take a look at that replica belt that was made, though. I actually made that belt. Mike Norman taught me his skill, and we worked on belts together. But that was my belt that I made. That was one of my first ones ever, and that is a replica Intercontinental title belt.
You gave that to me.
Did I really?
Do you know where it is?
No.
It's in my mother's house in storage in a box.
Stop.
I still have it. Yeah, I still have it.
Get out of here.
Right.
We've had this. So apparently, I don't want to go off on a tangent. Apparently, there was somebody through the years of HWA that kind of had a falling out with us that had like all the belts we ever made, and they ran off with them. I have no belts whatsoever. Not a single belt that I ever made is left.
That's at my mom's house. That's
oh my God! You got to get that belt.
I will get it.
That is incredible.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll do an episode on all the belts we made in the past. All right. That was great stuff. Yeah, go back to your question, though. What were you saying about the Steiners? WWE or WCW? Outside of their theme music. Are you sitting there or are you frozen? I think you're frozen. Your whole show is frozen. Does anybody in the audience know if he's frozen? That's awesome. He's totally frozen. I gotta send him a picture of that. Hey, it's just me. How you guys doing? I'm taking over the Tantalizing show, apparently. He's frozen. That's what happens. The guy can't run his own show. He needs me for everything. All right, so listen, in the fans, everybody, let's talk about that main event. What are you guys thinking about Brock versus Roman in the main event? I got to be honest with you. I'm sticking with Roman on this one. Unification title. Roman Reigns takes it all. And maybe in the near future, maybe we get an appearance by The Rock. That would be pretty awesome to see where this story goes, because I don't know who else could possibly step up against Roman Reigns at this point. And it's sad to say, I don't believe there's anybody in the WWE roster outside of a few, maybe a Randy Orton, maybe guys like that. But let's be honest, is anybody really going to be that thrilled? Throw some comments out there. What do you guys think? Who do you think could step up on the current WWE roster against Roman Reigns after he beats Brock? So I'd love to hear that. Hold on, guys. Tony's talking to me. I am keeping it going. The guy wants me to keep his show going. This is my whole life with him. Hold on, guys. I'm with you. All right. So wait, I got some people. Roman's winning by Tim Rollins. Seth truly can beat Roman. That's an interesting one going forward. I mean, Seth coming in is a definitely a good call by EWF Kicks. I don't know who that is. But hey, you're back. Get out of here. I was handling this just fine without you. So anyway, so listen, Seth coming in. Yeah, I get it. But do you think Seth has the same pomp and circumstances like a Brock Lesnar does? When you hear those Brock entrances, when you hear that pop, I don't know if this Seth Rollins / Joker character is going to have the same type of reaction. You know what I'm saying? So Seth Rollins is a good call, but going forward, we need some pretty talented people. Alex, what's up, man? Good to see you, my friend. How's things?
Everybody, Alex, how you pronounce your last name? Barbero?
Yes.
Okay, I don't say it wrong. Everybody, Alex is a great friend of the show. Alex, you know Alex as well, correct, Paul?
Yes. We've met a bunch of times, but we recently saw each other at the NYWC, and it was great seeing him in there.
The Psycho Circus.
We'll talk
Alex,
about
a little fun story. You know where the Psycho Circus came from? The HWA.
Right.
It was actually a match. It was actually a match created in the HWA. The first ever Psycho Circus. Now, if you were at that show, sorry to everybody listening because you guys weren't there, so you don't really know this. But the first Psycho Circus match was Mikey Whipwreck with Wayne or Shane from NYWC.
Shane O'Neill.
Teaming up with Adam Flash and I wish I remembered who was on their team. Against myself, the SAT, Chris Divine, and Quiet Storm. Oh, they had Amazing Red on their team also. So it was Mikey Whipwreck, Wayne, Adam Flash, Amazing Red, and Larry McKenney. And they were all at that. They were all there versus myself, Joel, Jose, Quiet Storm, and Chris Divine in the first ever Psycho Circus in the year 2000.
Oof.
And then Shane took that concept and it became an actual show, a la a TLC pay-per-view when it started off as a match. But yeah, that came from the HWA.
That's amazing. See,
yeah, it's pretty awesome stuff, man.
That's why you guys deserve to be in RWC Hall of Fame.
And that is not the NYWC or the HWA Hall of Fame. That is the women's tag team title match that I think is going to be where I get some food and go take a break.
Well, the reason why I put up the women is because I want to segue, because look at Alex's name on the bottom. Alex, gender reveal.
Congratulations, Alex. I am the father of 2 young girls, well, young adults at this point. I'm very happy for you guys. Having daughters is an amazing thing. Honestly, it's pretty wild. So the $1 million question I have to ask, though, are these girls going to grow up in the wrestling world, or are you going to steer clear of that?
I would love that.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
Um,
We had one of the HWA alum had his daughter at the Psycho Circus, and she left there telling her dad that she wants to join NYWC.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty crazy.
Crazy.
Outside of Tony with his 3 generations of children behind him.
Well, Kira wants to get into business because of King Mega. We'll talk about it on another day too. But
Kira.
Kira asked me. I'm not supposed to say anything, but I'm listening. Wait. Last week we were at the ring where I trained. She took 2 bumps.
Kira, don't follow in your father's footsteps. Learn basics first. Lacked on some basics.
Asshole. Anyway, the first bump, the second one, crisp and clean.
I love it.
She gets up, she rolls the right way. She goes, wasn't bad. She rang her bell the first time. But that night we got back, she's like, when are we going back? She asked me every day. So.
All right, so let me ask you guys this. Alex, chime in anytime. So Tony, hold on. If Kira had an opportunity to go to an AEW training facility or an NXT training facility, where would you send her?
Ooh.
Listen, these are big parental decisions.
6
Don't
months,
make a mistake.
6 months ago, I would have said NXT, but I'd send AEW right now.
Yeah? All right.
Because of the younger talent. And I think they're more, you do not have to be a WWE wrestler to make it. You'd make it anywhere. You make it on the indie scene and being trained with AEW guys.
Yeah, I think the diversity that you would learn in AEW is huge compared to one set style of wrestling. And I think that's what AEW offers right now over on NXT.
All right. This show's going long. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Almost 2 hours. But look, all these topics are great. We got to talk more about this stuff later. But, Alex, I want you to take this one. This is for the women's tag titles. What do you think?
Okay. So we've seen literally leading up to this match, every single one of these people already face each other. There's absolutely no hype for this match. So I'm just going to say my 2 picks are Zelina and Carmella, because Thea's been at House of Glory training her butt off specifically for this match. And my 2 fan favorites are Sasha and Naomi.
Paul?
I'm going to go with Alex's favorites. I think the Sasha Naomi thing is where they're going to go with this. I think the Zelina Vega thing, I think that came about, that King of the Ring and this whole tag team title run. Honestly, I hate to sound skeptical when I say this, but I think it came from basically doing damage control from when, Aleister Black left and went over to AEW. So they felt like, she didn't want to be there. They brought her back. They gave her a little something. I think that's kind of carried its way through to Mania. And I think now going forward, at least, I don't think they keep Sasha Banks in a position too long where she's not spotlighted somewhere. And it's just been, she's been too much in the shadows right now, that at least with the belts on them. And the same thing with Naomi. I think that they're 2 characters they really want to try to spotlight a little bit more. And I think as ridiculous as those tag team titles have become, and I'm all for it, but I just think the way the WWE handles it is horrible. I think it gives a little more spotlight to them for them to walk out with those belts on. So I'm going to go with Naomi and Sasha win the tag team titles.
I disagree. I'll tell you why. Sasha has never won a match at WrestleMania, and she won't win this year. I think they're going to do a reverse streak thing with her. I think it's a great thing that have her not win a match for another couple of years. She'll be 0-7 if she loses here. She's never won a WrestleMania match. I say keep it going. Also, with this loss, if she does lose, it's a great way to bring Bayley back.
Is that something they actually work with, though? Do they explain that in storyline that
they've mentioned
she hasn't won?
They've mentioned a few times that she's never won a WrestleMania match.
All right.
She's 0-6.
So
I
it's
think-
almost like the Brian Myers, the Kurt Hawkins gimmick,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, you lost. So they talk about how she can't win it at WrestleMania. So that would be interesting because eventually she does a storyline for a world title and,
Finally win.
in a position where she's never won, and then she could win it then. That's interesting to see. I'm
Yeah.
sticking with my vote, but that's interesting.
I think this is how they bring back Bayley. I think that it doesn't matter who wins this. It won't be Naomi and Sasha. I think Bayley comes and kicks the crap out of Naomi, and Sasha and Bayley reunite.
Wow. So you're throwing Naomi right out there. All right.
Yep.
What's the next one?
Let's see. Give me a minute. Sorry.
Throw it up there, kid.
They're all out of sequence because we weren't sure what was night 1 and what was night 2. Let's mention this. Just so you guys know, the graphics are wrong because Finn's the U.S. champ and Ricochet is the IC champ, and all those are older belts. But I put these guys up here. I found this graphic really quick because neither one of these guys on the WrestleMania card, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
The IC title and the U.S. title not being defended, bullshit. To
be honest with you, outside the talent alone of Finn Balor and Ricochet, the fact that those two prominent belts are not being defended is a travesty, in my opinion.
Disgusting.
Especially when you've expanded this thing to, 14 matches now in 2 nights, and you still couldn't find room for that? No disrespect to Happy Corbin, but I'd much rather see an IC or a U.S. title match on a card giving some credibility to a belt than, just random, grudge matches with Sheamus and everybody else,
Unless something, I'm sorry, Alex, unless something happens Friday night where they give these guys we don't have no Damian Priest on the card. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal's not on the card. It's on SmackDown Friday. I mean, I'll be there, but still, what the hell? They got to do something. You got to get these two guys on the WrestleMania card, even if they wrestle each other. I mean, come on, Alex.
I have to agree with Paul on this one. It is a damn travesty that the IC title or the US title is not being defended at WrestleMania. We have 2 women's world title matches in one night.
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you guys were like looking at me like my mic cut off.
No, you're good. You're very good.
I'm very upset at this. I think it's a poor booking decision, and I think WWE is going to face a little backlash from this. No pun intended, but still.
Backlash. I like that.
Yeah, that's a rough one, not having those guys on there.
Okay, I'm going to go first on this. Let me tell you why. I already talked about the Bianca Belair heel turn that I believe is going to happen. I believe Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins win the tag team titles. I believe they turn heel. And I think we have a 3 heel champion faction. The Street Profits with the hell? We okay up there? The hell? The Street Profits with Bianca Belair. I think all 3 of these guys go heel. So here we go.
Wow. That's a stretch there, huh?
New tag team champions.
Talk about your fantasy booking. You're fantasy booking multiple title matches and title changes.
Let me tell you why. Because I've been to the house shows, and Montez Ford has been playing a huge heel. Huge, major heel. So I think they've been teasing it. After the Raw thing last night, they attacked Randy Orton. They attacked Matt Riddle. I think they're going full heel. They're going to win the titles. I think we'll have Bianca Belair as a heel and these 2 guys as a heel. That's right. Make the black people mean. Make them bad. I said it.
I am a huge, huge fan of the Alpha Academy, though. What a great opportunity for Chad Gable to finally get an opportunity to like really show what he can do. Because he's been, I believe, at the a few months back, we were talking about him being like, we did an episode where we were talking about underutilized workers, and we were talking about him.
Shorty G.
Yep. So finally seeing him in a position like this is awesome. That he's going to have a WrestleMania moment. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where this can go in so many different directions. So now that you threw in the fact that they're playing heels, that's a big one too. This could go anywhere. So then again, it's WrestleMania, and I would be shocked if we don't see a Randy Orton RKO that's some sort of insane version of it. So I'm going to go just on that alone, that the RKO ends up winning the match, and it's going to be some insane spot, and they're going to retain the titles.
I like that, Paul. Go ahead, Alex.
All right. So we all know that Randy Orton's doing great with Riddle. All right. But what have we been seeing? We've been seeing a different side of Riddle. He's like different now. He's laying off the whole bro thing.
Aggressive.
So we all know, I've been watching wrestling for a very, very, very long time. You both too. We all know Randy Orton doesn't really have the best track record when it comes to tag team competition. I think Tony could be onto something. I don't think it's going to be Bianca with the Street Profits, but I could see either the Street Profits or Alpha Academy walking out with the tag titles. People are going to be led to believe that Randy Orton is going to turn on Riddle. But I think they're going to shoot out of left field and have Riddle turn on Randy Orton.
Wow. I like
That would
that.
be interesting to see.
I like that pick. You know, talking about out of left field, EW Kicks with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, EW1 Kicks. Every time you give any money to the channel, it goes into my pocket and I buy crack cocaine. Joking, I'm joking. No, it goes to the channel. What we do is it goes for everything, like for WrestleMania tickets, to travel back and forth, gas in my car, actually to feed Kira. This is her lunch money. Just so you guys know, we do this. It's a two-man team or two-person team. Kira is very demanding of being the producer. You guys might not think so, but she wants to get paid. She wants her big sandwiches. She wants her big ribs and steak combinations. So thank you so much for that. And every time you hit a super chat, you get a video. And since Paul's here, let's give him one I know he'll love. And where is it? Here we go. He's going to love this one.
I can't unsee that. What is wrong with you?
Listen, bro.
Oh.
Listen. And of course, this is a wrestling show. Let's give you a wrestling one. Let's give you a 2-for-1 today. And here we go.
Please don't do that.
The Hogan one might have been the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
His Rock one is amazing.
The Rock one was good, but that Hogan one, you got to freeze frame that and make it a profile pic. That was amazing.
And we're going to do one more just because I'm in a great mood. Here we go.
Oh, God. That is amazing.
You guys got to admit this. Thank you for the super chat. We're going to sing your song in 1 second. But listen, I want to say one thing about that Rock deal, okay? You can't lie. That I look really good in that actual pic. Listen, if I was 6'2",
The Rock would be working at a car wash.
Excellent.
Richie's back, and we got to sing his song because you know we do. Every time we get a super chat, you get the videos and you get a song, and it's $1.99 for EW1 Kicks. Let's go. Sorry, wrong song. Where you at, Kira? Hit it, Kira. $1.99 super chat. $1.99.
Oh, sorry, man. So I got to witness this.
Yes, thank you. $1.99 super chat. See, what's my name?
Tony.
Yeah, kid, that's no lie. Go to WrestleMania, we gonna fly. Yo, Kira, what you gonna do? I'm your dad and I love you. Yo, it's all about the training. Where we going?
WrestleMania.
Yeah, let's go.
What's Transylvania?
I don't know, just rhyme. I was supposed to say, I say we're not going to, I should say Transylvania, but I couldn't get it. Anyway, thank you for the super chat, EW1 Kicks. Appreciate you. So, you have Randy Orton and you have RK Bro?
Yes.
Alex?
I have anybody but RK Bro.
Okay, that's a prediction. He'll take it.
I want to see Riddle turn heel. So
Okay.
I'll take Street Profits.
All right, let me see what else we got. Just give me a second. Oh, here we go, everybody. We can take a little time on this one, right, everybody? Look at this right here. Woo! Gloria, you got this one. Let's go.
Wow. This is a tough one. I got to go with, I'm just going with the inner booker in me has to go with AJ Styles going over. This has got all over it has gotten to me. It just screams that Edge wanted this, wanted to work with AJ, wanted to have a moment with him so he could build up AJ and give him the rub. So outside of all the storylines and all the stuff on TV, I just got to imagine this is Edge's version of saying, basically doing what Jericho and everybody else is doing over in AEW. He wants to have a great program, have steal the night with the match of the night, but give AJ the moment to get the win. So I'm going AJ all the way.
Alex. On this day, I see clearly. Okay.
All right, Tony, you are the rubber match here. You're the icebreaker. What do you got?
Let me get to this comment real quick. AJ wins, Edge retires. Edge will not retire. He's not done. But, Paul, I hate to say it, I agree with every single thing you said. I think this is the match that steals the show on Sunday. I think we see Edge at his ultimate best, but AJ Styles gets the win. And I can't wait. These guys have a little history. Back at the Royal Rumble, Edge separated Edge's shoulder.
Yes, he did with that spear.
Right, thank you. Edge separated Edge, with the spear. But I think, like you said, gives him the rub. It's a throwback kind of a thing. What Jericho does, yes. Let's go with AJ for the win. And let me see what else we have. I think we're almost done. Let me see. We double check. KL, we did this one. We did that one.
We lost Alex.
Yeah, he's just stepped off for a second. All right.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to clip a fingernail, and that's weird for me to do on camera.
Not in Tony's world, it's not. That Tony thinks that stuff's totally normal.
That's
He was
true.
just eating his dinner before.
That's true. I listen. Gotta eat when I'm hungry. All right, everybody. This is it. This is it, guys. The main event. Alex, you're gonna go first on this. It's title for title. And before we get into this, let me ask you a question. Do we see a new belt on Monday? An actual new belt made?
Well, it's not title for title, it's unification.
Which means
Warrior Hogan was title for title, and then Warrior ran around carrying both belts. This unifies two belts into one title.
right?
So to your point, I would assume, but here's the weird thing. The way they do their marketing, everything is the same belt anyway. So what are we going to just come up with a new color, or are they changing the belt all around?
I'm hoping, as a belt collector, they make something like the beautiful, like the Winged Eagle. But I think Vince is so narcissistic. He wants that freaking ugly logo on this thing. You know, like this is a great opportunity to make a great title. You know, you have to realize if they put a new title in the shop after WrestleMania, that thing's gonna sell out quick.
Yeah, but they're not doing it. They're doing their titles for the exact opposite the way AEW does the TBS titles. AEW is doing their titles based on not their world title, their TBS and their women's TBS and TNT title. They're doing it off of their networks. WWE does it off of their branding. It's their logo. And everybody that gets one, like you've seen it, every time somebody wins a championship, they all get the WWE belts. It's all because every time you see that belt, it's their logo being up there. So I believe when it comes to the world title, the days of the Winged Eagle and all the other variations that we've loved through the years are long gone. I wish they weren't, you know? And it's interesting that they don't do that with any of the other belts. They just do it with their world title belts. So what do we have? Red and blue. So what do you make, a black one?
Yeah, well, no, because the WWE title's black. It's not even red because the Universal title used to be red. And then
I thought they were red and so it's red and black now, or black and what?
Black,
black and blue because the SmackDown title's blue. The Universal title used to be on Raw. It was red. Then the Universal Championship got traded over to SmackDown, so they changed it to blue. So,
and what are they going to call this then? The Universal World Championship? The World Universal Champion? Like, doesn't it seem like a bit of an oxymoron? And
yeah.
So,
Alex, do we get a new title? A new physical title?
I would hope so. Because I'm even tired of the network logo being on the world title.
But Paul made the point. Marketing. So, all right, let's get into the match. Okay, we've seen this match 1,000 times. But Roman Reigns made a comment last night, which I didn't even really think about. They've had a few matches. Roman has won a few. Brock has won the majority. But Roman has never beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 31, Seth Rollins cashed in. WrestleMania 34, Brock Lesnar busted Roman Reigns open. And now we're at WrestleMania 38. And Brock and Roman are going one more time. And this is probably the last time you see these two guys wrestle. So, that being said, being that this is a unification title, being that this is the most stupendous WrestleMania in history, being that I watched WWE Evil on Peacock Network, and Roman is the chosen one, and he has been for the past 5, 6, 7 years. It's been ordained that he was going to be the man. He's beaten everybody. He's beaten Cena. He beat them all. He beat Edge. He beat Daniel Bryan. He beat Big E at SummerSlam. Excuse me, Survivor Series. I'm going with Roman Reigns. I think what I saw at MSG when Roman Reigns stands over Brock Lesnar with both titles is going to happen. I don't think it's going to be clean. I think, of course, there'll be some shenanigans going on, but I don't think Roman Reigns loses this title, and I said this last night, for a long time. After you guys make your picks, I'll tell you guys what my actual booking is. My fantasy booking is on what's going to happen. So, Alex, you go next.
Okay. So I'm going with Roman Reigns.
Is it like the same as yours, or is it?
I think Roman Reigns is probably one of the best of the best. He's the one that's been holding down WWE throughout everything, whatever AEW is putting their world title on. I think Roman Reigns is the best decision. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be a match. I think with Brock Lesnar being face now, I think we might be able to see him right the wrong with him against Kurt Angle. I think we're going to see Brock Lesnar do the shooting star press.
Wow! Listen, that would be amazing. I mean, I can see Brock doing it. Honestly, the guy. Do you see the front kick he did off this table and landed on one leg? I would have broke my leg and my hip and everything. That guy's a beast. So you're going with who on this one, Alex?
Roman Reigns.
All right, that's 2 Roman. Mr. Loria.
I think it's safe to say we're going with a Roman sweep here because I'm on board with the Roman thing. Now, I think that I just look at things from a different perspective. I think that when you look at now, there'll be one champion, one representative of this company, and you look at how Brock carries himself, which is great. It's awesome. It's a new version of Brock. It's fun. And the music is great too. But like having Brock come out in flannels, cowboy hats, kind of carrying himself through promos. Clearly, he's not the best at the scripted promo thing. And it's all cool. It's all fun. And it works. But when you're talking about having one guy carry your company, and then you look at the way they present Roman with that new theme song, with the way he does the entrance, with the way he has Paul Heyman. It's almost like, how do you not have this guy at the pinnacle of this mountaintop? He is the future of this company. He is going forward. He is what they've wanted for the WWE for the longest time. And I think this whole saga with Brock is been awesome, because I think it lends to the credibility of Roman going forward. I don't think people will question Roman. Is he the guy? Can he carry the company? I think it's going to be undeniable that he is the guy carrying this company going forward. My only concern is something I asked earlier when you lost some power and I was out here by myself, is where do we go from here? Like, how many other credible challenges will there be? Because Roman is in that weird spot with the acknowledge me, but then the crowd acknowledges him. And it's almost like this, he's a heel, but he's getting a pseudo face response. I don't know where you go with challengers going forward outside of these big, enormous names like a Brock Lesnar. I think we all know how awesome would it be to turn around on Monday after he defeats Brock Lesnar and he's talking about how, acknowledge me, he's done it all. And you hear, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? And it's like the place goes insane. And that's a great 1 year storyline to see down the road. But what are we doing week to week with this guy? Honestly, like, we visited the Randy Orton thing, but how many other guys in the WWE right now have the believability and the credibility to step up to be on the same level as a Roman Reigns that you're going to honestly believe in, that you're going to say, I could see him beating him. Maybe we bring up Braun Breaker, but that's a long buildup to give this kid enough credibility that he's going to go toe to toe with Roman Reigns. So that's where my question lies. So to get through the weekend, Brock loses, Roman all the way. But going forward should be very interesting to see. Have they painted themselves into a corner just getting to this one moment and this payoff? Because I don't know where they go after this, though.
I agree. They painted themselves into a corner, but this is where, as you said, The Rock, I had it ready, had the graphic ready. I was typing it in as I got there, because I think that, to me, and as you said, it was a Roman Reigns sweep. The best story they ever told in all of WWE was the 1 year buildup between The Rock and Cena. I think they made not one mistake. I think they did everything great. It felt real to me. And I think they want to try to put lightning in a bottle for a second time. I think after whatever shenanigans happens that Roman wins, I think the entire Samoan dynasty comes out to acknowledge Roman Reigns. I think you then hear cliffhanger. I think you then hear The Rock's music. I think Rock walks down to ringside to acknowledge Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. I think he actually goes there to give him the rub. And I think that Roman Reigns, Rock bottoms The Rock in the middle of the ring, and the entire family stands over and looks down at The Rock. And that sets up Raw for the next night, which gives me the whole build-up for the 1 year WrestleMania build for these two guys, where I think Roman Reigns again wins and beats The Rock at WrestleMania next year. I don't see Roman Reigns losing this title for another 2-3 years. I think he stays champion for a long time. But as me just be fantasy booking, but talking about back into a corner, you can have Roman wrestle anybody. Edge again. You can have him go with Drew McIntyre, Gable Stevenson, Braun Breaker. There's a lot of guys that you can think that you can put in this match that's going to look like they're going to beat Roman. That just makes him even stronger going into WrestleMania. And then in January, you have The Rock win the Rumble, and you get these two to go for each other for the title, and Roman beats him. I know I'm a year ahead. I know I'm fantasy booking so far down the road. But at this point, what else can you do with these guys?
I think what you said was very interesting, though. The fact that it's a unified title now makes only one person on the mountaintop, which means everybody from everywhere now becomes potential contenders.
Exactly.
So whether it's a SmackDown or a Raw, whether it's a Drew McIntyre, whether it's an Edge, whether it's an AJ. I mean, I guess to your point, yeah, going on Monday Night Raws, would I be content seeing Edge stand across the ring from Roman Reigns? I wouldn't have a problem with it. I just feel like, okay, so we're revisiting this. Like, I think this goes back to when we were kids and you watched Hogan for so long, right? What would happen was Hogan had the opponent and it built for months and months and months, whether it was King Kong Bundy, whether it was Akeem, whether it was One Man Gang, no matter who it was. And Hogan had this buildup, and then he had that payoff in the match, and Hogan won. And then the next night, that new contender stepped up. I just always feel like with WWE, we're always rehashing and revitalizing a story that we already did. So it's like, okay, so now Roman's the unified champion. So we're going to watch him go against Drew again. We're going to watch him go against Edge again. Now, to your point, does it work? Yes. Would it be good matches? Yes. I'm cool with it. But it's not even like old school booking where it's like, hey, we did heel babyface, then we swapped them and did the same storyline with opposites as heel babyface. This is straight up like Roman was a heel and he worked Edge, he worked Drew, he worked Randy, and now he's going to do it all again, just to buy some time going into it. So I think that's just where one of my biggest concerns lies. My problem with the Braun Breakers and the Gable Stevensons is I think they're going to be great. I just don't think I don't think they're, even somebody mentioned in the comments about Walter. I think we've all seen that the NXT relationship with WWE has been horrible,
abysmal.
So I don't know that I'm on board for Walter showing up to challenge a Roman Reigns, because I don't have the faith that Walter's showing up. A guy that plays Walter might show up, and then you might give him a new name, and then it's starting from square one with some story that I don't know. And it's hard for me to believe that with no background and no story, and no disrespect to these guys, but Braun Breaker and Gable Stevenson have not even been on TV yet, to the point where how are you telling me you're stepping up into the world title scene unless you have some sort of story behind that? And so I'd like to see that story play out a little bit. And that's my only downfall. Do I believe those could work? Absolutely. Do I think Gable Stevenson or Braun Breaker could eventually be a great story? Absolutely. I'd much rather see Gable Stevenson come in and for 6 months he's destroying everybody to eventually get to Roman. But I don't think I want to see this kid show up on a stage. Remember, this is WWE and WWE only. This isn't WCW where Jericho shows up and challenges The Rock and we all watch Jericho in the Monday Night Wars on another channel. This is a guy that we only hear of that was in the Olympics, that is now training at WWE, and now we're supposed to believe that he's the top of the class. He's above everyone else challenging for the world title. As great as this guy is, I just don't buy into that.
What about somebody who left AEW? We all know that Vince loves big men. What if we see the Machine, Brian Cage versus Roman?
All right, Alex, this is an interesting one. Your point is great. This is weird. I've just never been on board with the Brian Cage gimmick, which is weird. Don't get me wrong. I am under the for years in wrestling, there's two trains of thought in wrestling with big men. You either wrestle like a big man, or you can be a big man that's very athletic. Hence, Brian Cage, Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic. There are a lot of people in the industry who hate what they do. Keith Lee failed in WWE because Vince McMahon didn't like what he was doing. I love what Keith Lee does. So personally, it's weird. I love what Brian Cage does in the ring. There's a disconnect with him and his character. I've never bit on it. So for me, I would have a hard time getting behind him. Now, if it was in a weird way, what you're saying, if it was a Keith Lee showing up, the big man that's athletic, I would love it. So to your point of a guy like that, yes, I'd be totally on board. It's just for me, Brian Cage is a disconnect.
What about the Black Heart of the Black and Gold brand? Roman Reigns versus
Ciampa?
Tommaso Ciampa.
I love Tommaso Ciampa. I listen. I don't think there's any version of that story where I'd buy into that he's beating Roman, but I sure would be invested in the story of it. I would love to see it. I would be totally cool with watching that happen for 3 months till the next pay-per-view.
100%. We know how sadistic and psychotic Tommaso Ciampa can be.
Yes.
We ain't never seen Roman Reigns versus somebody as evil as Tommaso Ciampa.
Look at his comment.
He's kind of right, you know.
With the way that you were saying with Walter, if you watch NXT 2.0, he's no longer Walter.
Yeah, listen, Vince is Vince, and he's going to do what he wants to do. All I can say is this: the WrestleMania card is not stacked. It's not a great card. There are some shining lights in this deal. We have some potential surprises with Undertaker, Cody, the Fiend. These are all viable things that could happen. We may see The Rock. We may not. It's just, we got some bathroom matches with John Knoxville and Zayn. We the New Day versus Sheamus and those jabronis. But this has to be said. We're on the road to WrestleMania. No matter what is happening in these matches, it doesn't matter because we're going to watch it regardless. We always say, we're not going to watch it what he's do. I always say, this is bullshit, and I always go. So the most important thing is this, that you guys keep watching the channel because starting Thursday morning, you will see us taking off. You'll see us landing. You'll see that when we hit the Superstore. You'll see us at WrestleCon. You'll see us at Kira. SmackDown. Where else? Hall of Fame. Where else?
Mania Club
Tailgate. Nights 1 and 2. Where else?
Control Your Narrative.
Where else? GCW. Where else? Possibly part of Ring of Honor.
MK.
Yeah, Murder, Death, Kill, because Kira wants to see those guys. See Nick Gage if he shows up. We're everywhere. Not to mention Monday Night Raw. The Raw after WrestleMania is off the hook. Not to mention, I will be interviewing STP, Shane Taylor Promotions, at the tailgate. Hitmakers will be there. Shout out to Mania Club, as always, for doing great work. All I can say is this, guys. Number one, let's thank Richie for coming on. It was tough with his connection, but, I tell you, ever since he messed with Von Wagner, he hasn't been the same. Want to do two quick shout-outs real quick. My boy, the Reverend Ron Hunt from STP. Check out his Instagram. He's a good dude right here. He says, we might have a subsidiary of Shane Taylor Promotions, Tantalizing Entertainment. That's number one. And number two, shout out to my new friend, Mr. Earl Hebner. And I can actually call him a friend. We corresponded. So Earl Hebner, if you're watching, thank you, buddy, for everything you did for me. And hopefully I'll see you soon. And anything you guys want to say before we go?
I'm sorry, Al. You go first, Alex. My bad.
Oh, I was just moving. That's all.
Tony, I am sending you the SAT contact information for that podcast.
Well, do the breaking news for me, bro. Tell them about it. Tell them. I'll pull them up.
Yes, I spoke to Joel Maximo from the Spanish announcing SAT today, and they want to come on the Tantalizing Tony podcast, and they want to tell their story and talk about some of their upcoming events. And I think that's going to be pretty awesome because those boys are HWA originals, and I have a long, long history with them from day one. I love those guys. Little sidebar, kind of cool story. I was the actual person that gave them their ring name, the SAT. And I think that the relationship between Tantalizing Tony and the SAT would be a great story, and that your fans need to know their story because they are making a huge comeback, and they are the fathers of the style of today, honestly. And if you watch these guys and see where they're going, there's going to be some really, really cool stuff happening in the future. They just did that match a few weeks ago where they beat the Briscoes and worked against the Hardys. They got a match coming up where they're working against the Rock and Roll Express. I know there's a little bit of Twitter beef going on with them and FTR. I would love to see that match. These guys are family to me, and I love these guys. So I look forward to seeing them on the Tantalizing Tony podcast, the Tantalizing Nation soon enough, and you guys all get a real treat watching them.
I have to agree with Paul Laurie. I think Joel and Jose are probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in this business. They're super respectful. I just got done seeing them work. Two brilliant, amazing, talented kids that have been in this business for like less than 6 months in Sage Chan, Tommy Rand. I think that was literally amazing, and they were in the main event. They gave these two kids the main event.
Yep. And Sage Chance and Tommy Rand, they are young, they are up and coming, but these kids have a lot of heart, and they're a lot of fun to watch. And anybody that's in the area, the New York area, the Northeast area, anybody that's associated with NYWC, and there's a few promotions that run with NYWC, Full Faith Wrestling, a few other ones. You got to get down to the NYWC arena, and you got to check these guys out because, I give a lot of shout outs. Like a guy like the cause of it all, Joey Conway. He's a total jackass and he's an asshole, but he's incredible. So go check him out.
And I know
Mallow, Sal Savelli. Incredible.
Yes. Incredible. But you said Joey Conway. I just want to say something real quick on Joey Conway because I know he watches.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, well, Joey Conway.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, he is an asshole. And Joey Conway, what you did to my boy Robert Franklin, we're not going to let that go. Just so you know, I'll be at the next NYWC show, so we can talk about that, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah, listen, but in all seriousness, as of right now, the NYWC is in the middle of doing the Crusher Dugan Memorial Tournament.
Yes.
And Crusher was an actual trainer over at the HWA before he went on to NYWC, and Crusher was a good friend of ours. And Crusher left us way too soon. And to his family, his friends, everybody that knows Crusher, he's an awesome dude. We have lots of love for Crusher. And in this tournament, best of luck to the guys that are in it because you guys get to represent and pay tribute to somebody that was really special. And I know that Sal Savelli has advanced and Jaden Ballo have advanced in the tournament. That's a big one. So going forward, if you guys get a chance, check out NYWCWrestling.com. Check out all the promotions associated with them with Full Faith Wrestling as well. And you guys got to see some really incredible wrestling in the Northeast.
If anybody wants to come see Sage Chance and Tommy Rant at the NYWC Sportatorium this Friday, SWA presents Fool Me Once.
We're going to try to put links in the description. One last program note. Tomorrow is Mick Thompson Appreciation Night. Mick Thompson will be on. I did not forget you, Mick. Mick said, don't forget tomorrow. I got you, buddy. We love you, buddy. So tomorrow night is Mick Thompson Appreciation Night. I want to thank Mick Thompson. I want to thank Ravishing Richie Ramon. I want to thank my daughter Kira. I want to thank Michael. I want to thank the 3 dogs that always running past my legs and won't stop bothering me. Alex, congratulations. It's a girl. Just for the record, who called it?
You did.
Thank you. For my brother from another mother, I love you so much, Paul Lauria. Thank you so much for coming on. I know your time is very limited. I know the wife was like, what is he still doing talking to Tony for? Jesus Christ. But thank you so much. For everybody, we're on the road to WrestleMania.
Love you, man.
Of course, I know I love you too. Tomorrow night is our last show before we take off to Dallas. We're on the road to WrestleMania, everybody. I can't wait. Woo! Tomorrow night is Mick Thompson Appreciation Night. On the road to WrestleMania. Talking about all things WrestleMania tomorrow. Talking about what happened on NXT tonight. Talking about AEW Dynamite tomorrow. Listen, hug your family members because you're not promised tomorrow. Regardless of who you pray to, pray because you got to pray just to make it today. And listen, from everybody, especially my little boy Mikey, he's going to take us off. Do what I do best. And shut up, dog. And that's what he said. See you later, everybody.